Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is JayLeesCorner, honey, and this will be a gossip chat. Okay, I don't know how long it's gonna be, y'all. I don't know because we have a few things to watch along with. Okay, because Will Smith finally spoke out about the slap heard around the world. Okay, Kandi was on the radio today speaking on things housewives related. Okay, and she also spoke on even the Khalees debacle with the Beyonce album. We're also going to discuss a little bit, just people's first thoughts about Beyonce's album today, which came out last night, a couple hours ago. It will not be no full deep dive into the album, but again, it's our initial reactions to what it is. And then also, y'all know Bishop Robbery was out here, honey, the whole press conference. So we have to watch that too. So I hope we not around here for no dang on 2 hours because I'm tired. I want to go to bed. I want to go to bed. I've been live every day this week. I've been live every day this month. Okay, I've only not been live on the 1st of July. Y'all know the shows come on tonight. Y'all know tomorrow, because I did not go live today. Tomorrow I'll have to do a live for Love at the Lockup, Bell Collective, and Ready to Love. So tomorrow will be a day full of watching TV and coming live to y'all. Okay, and then we got to watch the Dang on Love America DC reunion tomorrow night. So I'm tired already for what I know I have to do the weekend. Okay, but we are here today for a gossip chat. We'll also probably do a couple of questions from one of the Black Card Revokes or whatever if we have time. Because it was supposed to be a games and gossip night, but more stuff happened after I thought to do this. So again, we have things to discuss, but thank y'all for those who are here on the live. Thank y'all to those who are watching the replay. Okay, I am here. Hey. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel to become a whole JayBird, and Zai. Okay, do not forget to follow me on social media, on IG, also on Twitter at JayLeesCorner. I'll be posting around there daily, okay? And y'all know to like the video, okay, comment in the comment section, because this is a conversation between me and y'all, okay? If I'm around here, y'all ain't talking to me, I'm talking to myself, and no one wants to talk to themselves. I mean, sometimes we do talk to ourselves, but at that point. And y'all know to share the video on your social media, please, and thank you. I forgot. Hi. Okay. It's Friday. Ignore the hanger. Okay, this is what I forgot to do the hanger. or whatever. Okay, my mama got me a hat. So y'all like my hat my mama got me? Since God bless the hustlers. Okay, because that's what I am. I am a hustler. Okay, my mom came and dropped my hat off to my job today because she got it for me and whatever. And I realized I don't have any blue sweatshirts. I gotta find me a blue sweatshirt. I gotta buy a blue sweatshirt. Okay, I'm like, I got air color, I think except blue, which is weird. But whatever. Okay, but hello to everyone around here. Okay, that is here right now. Okay, hi. Yes, happy Friday and happy B day of it all. Okay, a lot is going on. Okay, Bell, I feel like it's gonna be good. Yeah, Bell Collective was already actually available on demand. I just did not know, so I have not watched it yet. But I plan to watch all those shows tomorrow. Okay, because I doubt I'm gonna watch them shows tonight. I feel like when this goes up, I'm gonna go chill out. Um, and just chill out. Okay, but hi. Is that bitch? We gonna get into Bishop robbery will be later tonight. Oh, my signal must be done. Boom, I'm popping off. Okay, Comcast ain't nothing. Between Comcast not being nothing and StreamYard just being whatever, sometimes things will be a little blurry, but because the signal was little, as long as y'all can clearly hear me, that's what I appreciate. Okay. Boom. Hey. I'm doing it within this review. Okay, it's gonna be sometime around here. Okay, so we gotta be here to see what it is. Okay, I forgot about the bells. It came back on today, but right, we're not posting no spoilers for any TV shows that came on today because no one has had time to watch them. So we would not be discussing those shows again. That live and all that stuff will be sometime tomorrow and whatnot. Okay, but let's get into what it's been 7 minutes. Okay, let me pop in my video. Okay, so I want to get into one little thing that was extra. Read all about it. Okay, y'all know Shakira. Y'all know Shakira out here not paying her taxes. Now I know. Now Shakira's from Colombia, okay. Now I know her songs, the hips don't lie song, and then the whenever what is it whenever whatever. That's I know those two songs. That's all I know for. Okay, but she also performed with JLo at the Super Bowl. So she out here being accused of tax fraud, saying that she did not pay taxes for about $15 million. I said 15 million. So she is being accused of tax evasion by the Spanish government for that $15 million. That they said she did not pay taxes on between 2012 and 2014. She's also facing 8 years in prison. Yeah, she also saw Beautiful Liar with Beyonce. There's a beautiful liar. I like that song too. Okay, but I'm like, I never understand how people make money and then don't want to pay taxes on it. To me, that doesn't make any sense. I feel like you can't be out here robbing Peter and paying Paul and think the IRS is not going to want their money off top the whole time. So it's weird to me how people do that and think they can get away with it. So she did not scam the American people. She scammed the Spanish government, okay? And again, she may be right spending 8 years in prison. Now, part of Jasmine brand, okay, she rejected a plea deal. I'm like, girl, why would you do that? But I'm like, if she thinks she innocent, maybe that's why she would deny a plea deal. But I don't know. So what they're saying that she lived in Spain half the year in those years. Okay, she lived half a year in Spain, and the other half she spent saying that her primary residence was some island in the Bahamas, okay? But the Spanish government feel like she was lying, okay? That she was using the Bahamas residence to avoid paying taxes in their country. I was like, I mean, that's a bit smart. If you don't want to pay them, just don't be there, okay? But they saying that, no, man, we knew you was making money. You was here half the time, so we want our money. Okay, and the lawyer's like, wait, just messing with her, whatever, because she's already paid what she owed. Plus, she also paid an additional 3 million euros of interest. So the trial not set yet, but I feel like, girl, you can't be out here playing with the I, or the wait, no, the I, the R, or the S is what it is. Okay, right? They don't play them games. They don't like playing. They like give us our money immediately. And so she has to see what's gonna happen. But I was like, girl, don't do that anymore. Okay. So that's that on that. Let's move on to Will of the Smith. Now we know the slap heard around the world, which happened, I think, was it back in February? When was the Oscars? I don't know, months ago. Okay. It's been a few months. We have not heard or really seen either Will Smith out here. Okay, Will Smith was sitting around chilling, not hiding, but he's been just out of the limelight. Okay, I'm like, he probably was somewhere shooting a movie, but like we've seen everybody except Will. So Will popped back up today. I was asleep, had just opened my eyes, and him sent me a text like, "Hey, Will Smith spoke." I say, "Spoke where? Spoke what happened? What did he say?" And so Will Smith put a whole video at the end of March, okay? Because I couldn't remember when it was. It was March. Not still, I'm still feeling that slap. Will came and did a whole video. Okay, we're gonna watch what he said. He answered a few questions. Now between every question, we're gonna have a bit of dialogue. It was like maybe like 4 or 5 questions or whatever. It wasn't really long. So let's get into what Will said, what he answered, and then how we feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
He sound nervous, y'all. Okay, he sound nervous because it's a hard conversation to have, but it does have to be had. Okay.
Why didn't you apologize to Chris in your acceptance speech? I was fogged out by that point. It's all fuzzy. I've reached out to Chris, and the message that came back is that he's not ready to talk, and when he is, he will reach out. So I will say to you, Chris, I apologize to you. My behavior was unacceptable, and I'm here whenever you're ready to talk. I want to apologize to Chris's mother. I saw an interview that Chris's mother did, and that was one of the things about that moment. I just didn't realize, and I wasn't thinking, but how many people got hurt in that moment. So I want to apologize to Chris's mother. I want to apologize to Chris's family, specifically Tony Rock. We had a great relationship. Tony Rock was my man, and this is probably irreparable. I spent the last 3 months replaying and understanding the nuances and the complexities of what happened in that moment. And I'm not going to try to unpack all of that right now, but I can say to all of you, there is no part of me that thinks that was the right way to behave in that moment. There's no part of me that thinks that's the optimal way to handle a feeling of disrespect or insults.
So the video is blurry because my signal was low. I don't know why. I blame Comcast and I blame StreamYard. Okay, but as long as you can hear, that is the whole good thing. What I liked about the beginning of him apologizing was him addressing kind of each little thing, how he's not making excuses for what he did. Even acknowledging how after the slap happened, I was fuzzy. So I don't even recall probably what I was saying, what I was doing, or whatever, because I was just in a whole different fog. I kept saying that before, that everything happened so fast, it was just awkward and weird. And people were trying to realize if it was real or fake. And we now know for a fact that it was real. It was real. And I like how he's fully not blaming anyone else. He's fully not trying to make something or someone be the scapegoat. He's also having to sit in the moment and be honest with people, even if it's very fucking uncomfortable. I'm sure everything he says will be scrutinized. He can't please everyone. Folks act like they got slapped. I agree. When it first happened, people who were so upset, and I kept saying, like, well, you can say what somebody did was wrong, that you don't agree with what they did, but you're not fully upset with them about it because, it could always be worse, and because Will has never really done anything to, cause anyone to not like him, I'm like, that's the main reason why I gave him grace. Because people who never really fuck up should not be scrutinized the way Will was for something that I think everyone probably assumed he was sorry that happened. I also like that he took his time coming to us to talk, because sometimes people come up and they so quickly say sorry. It's like, well, do you know all that you did? You know what I'm saying? I think Will even acknowledging how it the ripple effects of what it is, he didn't even think about that in the moment. Because again, it's not only Chris, it's also, Chris's family, him being close with Chris's brother, with Tony, like all of that, has now been affected. And I agree, Miss Black Girl Next Door. You have to respect his accountability regardless of what side you picked. I fully agree. Right. Will Smith never gave violent tendencies. He's always been professional, charming, and even goofy. People wait like dentists for you to mess up. And you've never even heard stories of Will being some kind of weird way off camera. Again, y'all, my signal is being really stupid. Y'all know I be sometimes. So if stuff is blurry, that's why. Okay. I am here. I promise y'all. I'm here. But because I see I only have one bar, I do not want to pop on screen, so I'm staying off right here, okay? And it may be because of the high resolution of Will's video that it is pulls more and fucks up my signal. But again, Will is not a person who we've heard crazy stories about over the years, and then finally something happened and we see it in person. We've heard stories of other actors, male or female or whatever, of how they are behind the scenes, and we never get to see, like this Tom Cruise, who comes off as this great guy. We've heard rumors of him, flipping out about this or that, and like a couple times here and there, we've either heard heard audio or quick video snippets of him kind of going off. We've never heard that about Will, and so for me, I'm like, that means that wasn't him just doing what he do. That was a whole moment that he did not mean to happen. And right, we are not perfect. We make mistakes. We're human. And to me, that is what I took from what happened. And Chris is probably mad because he wanted to get paid to talk and no one cared that much. Well, no, I really think Chris could have talked if he wanted to. People wanted to hear from Chris. They did. Chris didn't want to talk about it. Even Will saying how he reached out to Chris, and Chris, he said he wasn't ready. Chris was the victim because he was the one who got hit. So Chris has every right to not want to talk. And what I love is that Will admitted, like, I did reach out to him. I did want to talk to him. And what the message I got from his people was he isn't ready to do that. But when he's ready, I will gladly have, whatever conversation. So it takes a very mature person to know, hey, I fucked up real bad. I fucked up real bad. But I hope in some way we can fix it. Not and fix it. This means come to the conclusion of I accept that I was the one in the wrong. So, I love that whole part, okay? But let's listen to the rest of what he said. And again, my signal was stupid, y'all. I don't know why I only have one bar. I should not only have one bar. I pay a whole bunch of money for internet, and it's really, really dumb. But again, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be, as long as y'all can hear me and hear the thing, that's great, okay?
After Jada rolled her eyes, did she tell you to do something? No. It's like, I made a choice on my own from my own experiences, from my history with Chris. Jada had nothing to do with it. I'm sorry, babe. I'm going to say sorry to my kids and my family for the heat that I brought on all of us. To all my fellow nominees, this is a community. It's like I won because you voted for me. And it really breaks my heart to have stolen and tarnished your moment. I can still see Questlove.
Y'all don't get how much I hate this visual. I can see what y'all see. And when I say I hate how bad the resolution is, but I want to have it. Oh, I'm so mad. Y'all know I hate when my stuff don't look right. But yeah, I'm aggravated. It looks horrible. Y'all know this ain't me. But let's keep watching.
Love's eyes, it happened on Questlove's award, and it's like I'm sorry really isn't sufficient. What would you say to the people who looked up to you before the slap, or people who expressed that you let them down? So there's two things. One, disappointing people is my central trauma. I hate when I let people down. So it hurts. It hurts me psychologically and emotionally to know I didn't live up to people's image and impression of me. And the work I'm trying to do is I am deeply remorseful, and I'm trying to be remorseful without being ashamed of myself, right? I'm human, and I made a mistake, and I'm trying not to think of myself as a piece of shit. So I would say to those people, I know it was confusing. I know it was shocking. But I promise you, I am deeply devoted and committed to putting light and love and joy into the world. And, if you hang on, I promise we'll be able to be friends again.
Now, first of all, Will was always my friend. Will has always been the friend in my head. Okay. Oh, now the signal want to come. If look, I told Will Smith probably had a real high resolution camera, but it made all my stuff be whatever. I don't know, but oh what girl, I'm gonna off camera. I'm gonna leave it be. But I feel like when Will said like how he's trying to like hold himself accountable without also feeling like shit, I felt that. I fully felt that. And this is why. I feel like Before, when the slap first happened, it was everyone else, including us bloggers. It was everyone else around here commenting on what happened, talking about what happened. I hope my signal don't go back down again. It was everyone else talking about what happened. That's what made it be oversaturated and people got tired of the conversation. For me, I'm happy to hear from Will because he was the one that publicly did something that he wanted to address. So I fully love the fact that he came out, answered to me the most important questions, two of the most important questions or whatever. He addressed what he did is what Curtis damn signal. He addressed what he should address. And then as he said, I hope if y'all rock with me a little bit longer, y'all will see me try to put, the goodness back into what I do. And, he's already apologized to Chris. I think any other conversation he has should be directly with Chris. I don't think we will hear much more about that from Will. I don't. We may hear something more from Chris because we really haven't heard from him yet. So I'm fully okay with that. But I feel like we needed to hear from Will because Will was the one who should be held accountable for what happened. I like that he took his time to come and have a conversation, a short one. It was less than 6 minutes. That's how you hold yourself accountable. You take time because Will Smith had a full on fuck up in front of everyone. And because he's saying how, he hates letting people down, and for him to know that he let a whole bunch of people down, I can see him, being distraught in that. Because it hurts him that he hurt other people. And like you said, to my wife, to my family, because I put everybody in this punk ass bubble of having to address what happened. And people seem to love holding on. This is my thing. People can only hold on to someone's mistakes when they keep repeating them. If you keep doing dumb shit, we're going to keep talking about dumb shit. So with Will, he ain't did much dumb shit at all. But he wants to address the one dumb thing he did, that everyone talked about for a long, long time, okay? But for me, as a person who has always loved Will Smith since forever and ever and ever, he don't change in my eyes. He's more human to me. Because he made a mistake. He took time to deal with the mistake with his own, in his own self. He clearly reached out to Chris privately before coming to talk to us. But some folk would do some dumb shit and say sorry real quick because it's the moment to be publicly or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do all that. I like how he handled it. He showed us why we've loved him for years. So to me, people who turned on Will because of the slap didn't really fuck with Will in the first place. If you turn on people who you admire or who you like or who you support because they made a human mistake that they then took accountability for and they've never done anything like it before or after, then that's on you. I'm just saying. But now let's get into a little bit of Beyonce album chit chats. Okay, look. I am so pissed my signal was off so y'all can't see me, but I'm just going to leave it there. Renaissance came out at midnight for me, Eastern time, and I feel like we were not prepared for what we got. Not at all. And when I've listened to the album now, I've listened to it twice. And it's 16 songs. And I still, because I posted last night, my phone is full. I posted last night how I did not want to have a full conversation about it, mainly because I feel like I need to listen to it more to really digest what it was. I really do want to listen to the lyrics of the song and just kind of get it in my spirit a little bit more. So but I do want to give, an initial, reaction to it. So out of the 16 songs, I was able on first listen to listen to the whole album, and at certain points I was like, damn, the song changed. And not that every song sound the same, but the transition from one song to the next was so effortlessly done, you didn't realize it was a different song until the other song played. And I also feel like I can understand this album is not going to be everyone's tea. I know that because everyone expects certain things from Beyonce, but those are people who like Beyonce when she first came out. Beyonce has grown as an artist, as a woman, and I love that the music reflects that. So I seen folks online laughing, oh, it's not that good. I don't like it that much, and blah 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 blah. I seen that yesterday. This album will not be for everyone, and that's fine. But for me, listen to it two whole times. I didn't skip any songs. Church girl had me twerking in my kitchen at 2 a.m. eating pickles and drinking water. Um, I'm that girl made me, you know what I'm saying? Get a little feeling. Cozy, which also features, T.S. Madison's voice. Um, I love the album. I did. Alien Superstar, Energy. Um, I just liked it. I did. But I also understand everyone won't have that same feeling. And that's cool. I get it. It's okay. It's fine. Okay. But I really do love it. And I know for a fact that when I listen to it even more, and this is my thing, I listen to it in my kitchen on my cell phone, on Tidal. But when I was playing it on my drive to work today in the car with the speakers, it was even better. You hear me? So I'm probably gonna go drive somewhere. This probably just drive. I may just get on the freeway and start driving, just so I can hear the whole album in my car and just groove out to it. I'm telling y'all, if y'all don't listen to the music that y'all love in your car blasting, you don't know what you're missing. Okay. Yes, Miss Black Girl. Look, I was eating pickles, drinking because I was hungry, I was thirsty. Eating some baby dill pickles, drinking bottled water. And I'm like, am I twerking the church girl? Oh my God. I can't believe it. Okay. But every song made me feel like moving. Every song, it reminded me of just have like this fun music. I know some folks, oh, she's trying to capitalize off of the LGBTQ and trying to capitalize off house, all these different things. Beyonce's music has always evolved. And when listening to it, I'm like, but I'm old, I'm 40. And this is the music we used to, have a good ass time to. So I love the album. And again, I'm a little bit more as I listen to it. Going to love a little bit more. Not girl in the car habits. I have to say what it is. I'm happy the album is really just her. Even though we hear other people talking, maybe we're doing background music, but it's Beyonce all through the album. Yeah, TS was on T, and because I follow TS on IG, and when she put up how if it's on it's on Cozy. In Cozy, you hear TS talking. You know what I'm saying? So right, Beyonce's 40. So, some people are still looking for Beyonce to be doing Bootylicious or Survivor or Dancing in Love. It's a whole different feel. Now, Let's hope my signal don't go back dumb. I'm because I know, you know what I'm saying? Hey, y'all, how y'all doing? Whatever. I don't know. You know what it is? You know what it is? First of all, I have a whole new modem that I've had for like 3 weeks in a box over there. I need to upgrade my damn modem. But also sometimes figure out it's funny. Plus all my graphics or whatever. But the album, hey y'all, the album itself, it's just good to me. And I saw someone say within the chat how it sound like one long ass song. It honestly don't. You have to really be listening to hear how it kind of changes over, and the beat change, the vibe change. But again, it's she playing this after 3 years in the making. Okay, it's gonna be 3 acts. This is act 1. It's still 2 more acts. Okay, right. Will and Beyonce can't please everybody. I agree. Oh yeah, have titles free through my T-Mobile app. Yeah, I like Tidal. Now, Tidal was much better than it used to be. Okay. Oh, that's Maddie. Yes, that's Maddie talking on Cozy. Yes. Now, as far as the Khalees situation, okay, the Khalees situation. Let me push play because I had, you know, saying the little Khalees little thing or whatever. So we all know the Khalees was very upset with Beyonce, with plastic couch, plastic off the sofa. I like every song. I really, really do. But that's why I want to fully list because it hasn't even been 24 hours. You know, it hasn't even been 24 hours. That's why I have to keep listening because I want to because when I listened to this album last night, hey Alex, okay. When I listened to it, it just spoke, and I'm like, yes, I can see myself. And even today, when I was getting dressed, and I danced to Church Girl, because but again, you have to sometimes sit with things to figure out how you feel. And again, everyone will not like this album, as we saw some people say on Twitter, even after he on a couple of things. But I loved it. I'm like, okay. Okay, but again, it's not for everyone. Like, this album will, in my opinion, to Beyonce fans, it will for sure be in someone's top 3 or 4. So for me now, it will still be Lemonade. Lemonade is my favorite Beyonce album. I'm always stuck between 4. I would say 4. Is it 4? What's the name of that girl? Let me be sure I ain't around here tripping. Beyonce. Let me go to Beyonce. I want to go to her. Why can't I go to her? It is called. Am I tripping? It's called 4, right? My memory be pausing sometimes, but I feel like, you know what I'm saying, 4 is one. And I would say this would be in my top 3. I'm just not sure if it's 2 or 3 yet. But I'm also fully aware that everybody's not gonna like it. But I'm telling y'all, the favorites, I'm That Girl for me, Energy for me, Church Girl for me, and Heated. Those are the ones that stick out to me right now. Now, Energy, which is the song that Khalees was upset about. I wish Khalees would have sat down for 1 second, let the song come out, and then had a reaction, because I feel like Khalees responded and reacted thinking, oh, they took my shit and I'm still mad. I'm still mad at Pharrell. Da, 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 da. When I listened to Energy, I listened. I never even understood Khalees was sampled. I did not. It wasn't until I posted. I'm like, I don't even hear the correlation. And then Chris was like, "Oh, it's a little part. It's around a minute and 43 seconds. The song energies. The song. I hope this don't play. Oops, see, I knew it would. Okay, the song energy is a minute and 56 seconds, and Chris was like, "Well, the sample is at a minute and 43 seconds." Which means it is maybe 13 seconds worth of whatever. But it's not like she sampled the whole song. It's not like she took a whole bunch from it. She sampled 2 songs, Milkshake, which I saw was credited, and Get Along Without You, not credited. I listened to them back to back artist songs. I did not. My point is, what she used allegedly was the music which Khalees did not produce. That's part 1. Part 2 was, I still felt like she should have calmed the fuck down and waited to hear the song in full. Because I feel like once she heard what she heard, that's when she came back and said, "Oh, well, it's not da, 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 da." I'm like, because you realize it wasn't like a huge sampling of your work, even though she sampled it. But let me see, because I did not, look, I'm gonna mute it. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself. Even right now, and my little gigging of it all, I still did not get Khalees from it, but I get it was sampled from a shit. That's not here nor there. My point is, everyone who heard it was like, "Where we like we?" I was like, I didn't get it. I did not. I did not. I was confused. I'm like, what happened? And I think we are fully aware that she's upset that the Neptunes on her mattress. You know what I'm saying? Look, look in my kitchen. That's how I was at 12:30, from 12:30 to around 2:30, jamming out her music. But I had to go back and re-listen to Energy last night after Chris mentioned that it was around the 143 mark. That was a sample of Get Along Without You. I didn't even really get the beat from Milkshake. I didn't. And that does not mean that Khalees did not have a right to be upset at the Neptunes, who she say stole her stuff. I fully get that. But I'm like, girl, I just feel like she got too mad too quick at the wrong person. I don't think anyone around here has said, oh, she didn't have the right to get upset. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anyone said that. My whole point was you upset at the wrong person. Now, when we get to Kandi's, because Kandi was talking about a whole bunch of stuff. It includes her speaking on how she felt about this part, because Kandi know music, and that's so Kandi did break down this or that. So that's fine. Also, we know, because somebody said you believe her music was leaked. With Beyonce don't need PR stunts. We have been waiting. When we've been waiting for this, so she didn't need a PR stunt. Beyonce literally be out here dropping albums in the middle of the night with no promo, and it still sells because she has fans. So to me, Beyonce does not need a PR stunt, and Beyonce and her team is known for not wanting anything leaked before the plan of it all. So I feel like someone leaked her music, and whoever leaked it has now been fired. Because you know what I'm saying, she keeps shit under wraps. And this is I agree with this. I don't think anyone is coming down on Khalees. I think a lot of folks are giving her grace. I also feel like even though she is going through a whole lot and we owe her grace for that, people are still going to have a rebuttal to what she said and people will still have an opinion. I haven't seen anyone kind of go hard at her like that or whatever. I think most folks have either agreed with her because they do, or said, she should sit down some dang or because you mad at the wrong person. I think most folks' issue was you don't have a right to be mad at Beyonce because of what you've been always pissing the bitch about with, the Neptunes, Pharrell, and Chad. I also think, if she wanted Beyonce to card personally, I get that's how she felt. I just feel like, she wasn't owed that. It would have been nice, absolutely. But I don't think she was owed that. I think a lot of folks have been giving her grace. I don't think enough people, I don't think anyone has even really went hard at her. I don't. I think most folks have just has irrationally responded to what she talked about. Basically. Right. All music in one way or the other is recycled. It is. So even folks who were saying how, Beyonce, is kind of, trying to copycat or not copy, but she's trying to take or, get into, I'm like, it's music. It's music. Beyonce's every time she do a different kind of music, someone said, "Oh, she's changing." No, she's being creative. Being creative does not mean staying in one lane. It doesn't. It's not the same. It's not the same lane. She's an artist. She sings. She's talented. She's, and not only that, you get inspiration from other things. That's like for YouTubers. Yes, I review, TV shows or whatever, but I also want to have random conversations about things that matter too. So you should never want someone, now so-and-so wants to discuss real shit. Well, yeah, because I'm growing as a person. So people should want artists to grow and not be the same. Khalees's music has changed since she first came out. People are confusing courtesies with legalities. It's a sense of entitlement for me. You know what I'm saying? And I agree. She can wholeheartedly wish someone called her. Personally, that's her. She's well in her right to feel that way. However, that does not mean that what Beyonce did was wrong, in my opinion. Whatever. Yes, you're right. Her feelings are valid. She possibly could have reached out to Khalees if for nothing just to say maybe we should collab or something. But Beyonce may not want to collab with Khalees. You know what I'm saying? She may not have wanted to collab with her, which is and when we get the Candy's part, we'll discuss that a little bit more. Okay. But my point is, Khalees has a right to be upset, but I just always feel like people should be upset with the right people. Okay, but let's move on to Kandi speaking on it, honey, speaking on everything. That includes Marlo, Kenya, Sheree, Martell, even the whole Khalees and Beyonce shenanigans fiasco. Okay, so Kandi was on the radio this morning. I think it was this morning, and she went live from her IG. So y'all know what I had to do. It was an hour and a half of content. I had to cut that shit down, y'all. I had to cut it down. So we have about 20 odd minutes of conversation that we're gonna get into. Now y'all know we're gonna be watching and talking. Okay. I hope and pray my signal stays good. If not, y'all know as long as y'all can hear it, that's what matters. Kandi know how to speak on shit and spill tea without spilling tea, but spilling tea. And that's what I love. You hear me? That's what I love. Because she know when to be quiet and she know when to speak up. Okay. But let's get into Kandi talking.
And for the Real Housewives of Atlanta?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Have you been watching, girl? It is a mess. So what I will say is this season I didn't realize that I was getting dogged out the way I was.
Maybe they was giving it to you.
It's so bad when you think that you cool with somebody and then you watch back and you see some of the things that they were saying that you didn't know they were saying.
That's messed up.
It really makes you feel like, dang, like
I should have been going hard on them too.
Yeah, I should have been going way harder, you know? Because, you know, it's a lot of things, you know, you could say that you don't necessarily say sometimes when you think you're trying to, you know, show love to people.
Yes.
But then when you find out that they weren't really showing you that same kind of love, you be like, man.
Well, screw you. Then you want to really get revenge. It's like,
So they were asking her about how she felt about this season. And we all know how much Marlo ass has been going deep, deep, deep and low, low, low to keep her newly held peach. But I really feel like Marlo don't need no peach for next season. But Kandi's right. Like, she had no idea how bad she was being dogged out by people who she was hanging around with. But let's keep listening.
You got to look at it like this. Marlo got that peach, and you should have said, this is too good to be true. You really thought that she was going to really act like she has some sense.
Yeah, she don't have no sense.
the real sad thing about it is Kandi was like one of the few people that was rooting for Marlo to even get a peach, but that's a whole nother conversation. But thank you for calling.
So y'all do know for all the seasons that Marlo was the front of the show, Kandi was a person who was trying to encourage them to give Marlo a peach. And so the crazy part this season is the fact that the one person who tried to get your peach all those years is the main person that you're going at behind the scenes. Not to Kandi's face, but behind the scenes, okay? But let's keep... Well, no, Shamia can't pipe down because this is from them being on the radio. And Shamia is one of the co-hosts, so she can't be quiet because it's a radio show. So I don't want y'all to say, oh, Shamia doing too much. Shamia is actually doing her job in this realm of stuff. Now, if this is anywhere else, I'll say yes, calm down. But Shamia has to be extra because she's on the radio, and that's their job. I just want to point it out because I know, you know, she's gonna be talking throughout. So that's why she's talking throughout, because Kandi was a guest on the radio show that Shamia is a host on.
Even going on, do you think that the show needs like a Nene Leakes personality? You know, since the newbies, to me, have seemed to, you know, just be a little whack.
So this call was really aggravating, if you want to be the truthful. Okay, she was asking them, do you think the show needs a Nene-like person because this season is whack? She kept talking later on about how she felt like, oh, Ken used to do this and this and this, and now she calm. But then she admitted how she did not watch the season. She has watched clips online. You can't be calling into radio shows with opinions when you have not watched the damn show. Okay? I was like, why don't you call in? Girl, what is wrong with you? Be quiet. Okay? Don't call in complaining about a show you have not watched. But let's hear Kandi answer the question about if she feel like the show needs a Nene-like person, you know, to make the show better. Probably so. Just simply, yes, it's probably a Marlo friend, okay, a Marlo family member or whatnot. But let's hear Kandi's response to that.
That's funny. I don't think anybody on our show is whack. I think everybody is different. You know what I mean? I think it's a lot of people are really, really liking this season. As far as Nene is concerned, I don't think anybody should ever try to be Nene Leakes. I think she is who, you know, she is Nene, and I don't think anybody can ever replace her. You know what I'm saying? I don't think people can try to be anybody else. You know what I mean? So I feel like this season is just different. You know, you got different personalities and it's still good. You know, it's just different than what it was, you know? Well, okay. I mean, I respect your opinion. I mean,
Right. I think it's funny though, because it's like at first y'all was you saying, you know, oh, Kenya's too much, she's a bully, she's too in your face, and then now she's chilling out. Y'all like, it's boring, Kenya need to be, you know, she's just there now. What y'all want the girl to do?
Yeah, I think I love the way Kenya is this season. I feel like, you know, she's, you know, showing a softer side of herself. She's being more loving, showing you more of herself with her daughter. And, you know, as a mother, you know, I just think it's, you know, cool to see this side of her. Now, she has been turning up. I don't know what episode you missed, because she done turned up a couple times.
I just been watching the clip.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, that's why. That's
All
the
right,
problem.
you gotta watch the whole show, girl.
I agree. We don't need a Nene, and that's it. I agree. I also like Kenya this season. I've said in prior seasons, I felt like Kenya was doing too much. I seen an interview that Kenya was doing, I think on the Jasmine brand, where she was saying how, you know, this season, just in her life, she's at a much happier point in life, and she don't have time for the BS. And that's the part that I like. I feel like, but Kenya's also still extra in her own ways. She does not extra petty for no reason to be mean-spirited or whatever. So that's the part I like. And I do really do like Kenya this season. Let's see how it progresses throughout the season, but let's keep listening. Oh, so look. Okay. And this is something I want to say. Because I seen on social media how the blogs picked up, oh, Kandi, you know, spoke on Martell and Sheree. I say, no, ma'am. I want to go get the whole thing to see what else was said, okay? And when you only repost stuff that the blogs post, if you don't go back and do your homework, you miss all kind of tea, okay? Now, Kandi, again, mentioning Kenya and how she's a season. And they're doing that on the radio, okay? So y'all know on the radio, you record stuff, whatever, you're going to break, you talk in between. Shamia and Kandi were talking in between the breaks, okay? And folks did not pick up on this, but I did. I posted it earlier. But Shamia was asking Kandi, so what was it that Marlo was saying about Brooklyn? That is this quick conversation. So listen up, y'all. Okay? Just listen.
She's gonna come up. She's gonna mention like some of the stuff people asked or whatever. Or, like,
so Shamia was saying, so what did Marlo say about Brooklyn? You have to read her lips. Okay? And you have to read the lips. She's like, what did Marlo say about Brooklyn? And again, Kandi is live on her IG. Shamia is live on her IG too. But I got this from Kandi IG. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm not saying she doesn't want.
no, I know, but what did she actually say?
People
I'll tell you
do what
later,
they're
I'm not
supposed to do.
saying.
You're supposed to ask to get the hookup.
It was terrible.
Right, but I'm like, good make sure good job.
I like when people do that.
About how
Now it's not good
sometimes
for
on the show, the bad part about it is people don't want to know.
No, I'm saying.
So Kandi was saying, I'm not gonna say. I'll tell you later. I can't. I'm on here, whatever. And Shamia is saying, because Shamia is talking like you can't read Shamia. Shamia is saying, okay, I get that. Okay, fine. But you know, on these shows sometimes people go low. Okay, and she's assuming that is what happened here between Marlo and Kenya. And Kandi was like, well, yeah, it was horrible. Okay, and now she's gonna say the reason why, you know, she or no one has said what was said. Pay attention now.
Like first that nobody discussed it because like she like it's one thing maybe
And then
arguing
she
with her
answered
daughter
live.
showing you
Exactly.
add to it.
So what she said was Kenya did not want anyone to repeat it, to talk about it, because she don't want to basically give it legs. But Kandi is saying verbatim that what was said was horrible. And right, that's why I said Kandi be spilling tea without spilling tea, but she still be doing what? Spilling tea. Because even though on Speak On, and she talked about it a little bit, and her and Fatune did say, they did say Marlo said some horrible things. We didn't really know what else happened. And so Kandi now here saying to Shamia, well, yeah, it was horrible things said, for one. And for two, Kenya was like, just don't talk. So I think the reason production maybe even cut it was because Kenya said, no, that's my child, leave it out. Period. Okay? Period. But it was Kenya who was asking the women, hey, don't even repeat. If someone asks, like, don't even say what was said. And I respect Kandi for remembering that and not telling Shamia, at least on camera. I think they don't mind if people, in the small groups know what was said or whatever. Because Shamia know Kenya too. So I'm like, ooh, a little bit of T. Okay, but let's keep listening.
Well, let's go. Let's kick
As
it
a
off.
former Friends of Real Housewives of Atlanta, I like the season. I'm excited about it. You're over halfway through the season so far, and they have really been like coming for you. I don't understand. I don't like it.
I was like, what is going on? It's so crazy because when we were actually filming, I did not realize that they were going in on me like that.
Yeah,
like,
and it's
crazy.
some of the people that you really be going hard for, like Marlo. Like
it's so crazy. Like she and I really didn't have any words until later on. So it was like to find out that earlier on in the season that she had been talking so much trash, I was so shocked. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of crazy when you feel like you're cool with somebody and then you realize, oh, so this how you do me?
Right, and the thing is, because, I know when you're filming, you don't really know what people are saying, even down to their confessionals. You don't know what's being said.
Exactly.
It's not until you actually see it, then you're like, wait, you was talking trash about me that whole time?
Right.
Like, I didn't even know we wasn't cool at the moment. And that's where you be like, okay, that was some fake stuff. Like, I hate it, but Mayetta definitely had your back.
That's my girl. I love her.
For you. The thing I did not like about the show is sometimes you can...
Marlo has said and alluded to that before. She's also, she's alluded to and said things around. That's why Kenya was saying before that Marlo has said how, question her pregnancy. Because Marlo had insinuated before that it was an egg that wasn't Kenya. So all that stuff. So we will see if it's addressed later on, but I just wanted to touch on that around here. But let's keep listening.
Go really below the belt and go too far. I know you've had things happen to you in the past, on past seasons, where people would say things that were like detrimental to your livelihood even. Yes. And it's kind of like, what's too far? For me, I felt like the comments that Marlo made about Kenya's daughter were too far, and I thought at some point the network should have stepped in and been like, okay, no, we're not bringing the kids in. It's kind of like, I know she just got a piece this season, but
Kenya, like, bitch, what are you doing? I just told you that Kenya don't want us saying what Marlo said. Okay, what is you doing? Where is the line of questioning going? I just told, so stop it. Kenya was like, what are you doing now? What's going on?
But did you expect her to turn up like she did? Jesus.
Well, that was a trick question. They stepped in. That a lot of that stuff wasn't in there. Shamia with the T.
But you do speak on it, and you brought Fatum in there, and y'all definitely talked about it.
We talked about it on Speak on It, and I didn't realize. It is a sensitive subject. I guess they do want to be sensitive about things that are said about our children. So, some of those things where, and I shouldn't have said, I guess I shouldn't have let that leak on my YouTube show.
Too bad.
Because that is where we first even knew that something was said about Brooklyn. But it was Fatum who said it first. And when Fatum brought it up, Kandi said, well, it was bad or whatever. I want to make sure. I know it was a conversation between the two, and I feel like it was Fatum who first said that Marlo said something crazy, and Kandi then added on to that conversation. And, so that's true. But again, her point is, Shamia, you slick bitch. Yeah, don't drag me into this, but girl, you already in it. Okay, so at least she's admitted, hey, I maybe should have said that on my Speak on It, but again, it's already out there, so it was what it was.
So, with that being said, I don't want to go too far into that, but yeah, people do go below the belt, and it was not cool.
Okay, well, we're going to get more into it, because I definitely got to ask you about your thoughts on, this Martell, Holt, and Sheree bit. So y'all don't go my way.
Why you asking? Don't ask me. Do not ask me.
She gonna talk about it.
Do not ask me. Ask me what I think about that. Don't ask me what I think about that. I want to keep my opinion to myself.
We want to know. Because,
oh my God.
no.
It ain't happened on the show. Why would I speak about it on
I no, but that's why we want you to speak on it, because it ain't on the show. It's gonna happen right here. Basically,
Shamia is great at her job. Shamia is pulling stuff that was said publicly by Kandi, and also stuff that Kandi can speak about because it's not anything to do with production. So Kandi can speak on her opinion on Martell and Sheree because that is not a part of the housewife storyline. And Shamia also is the way that Kandi be knowing shit. So Shamia, in my opinion, while she's a bit aggravated teen, she is good at her job. Because when you are a radio host and you are interviewing somebody, you're supposed to want to get things out. And Kandi is being spicy, but not messy. But again, she's dropping tea around here. Again, this is why you can't just pull shit from the blog. No, ma'am. I had to go back and pull an hour and a half of footage to get this conversation. And we're going to watch it here.
But
I was shocked when I saw her in an interview. Somebody asked her about Tyrone's sex life, bedroom life, and she like gave it to the man, like was like, it was kind of like, ooh. So y'all didn't have sex all that time, and then when you finally did, you didn't like it. Okay, that was one thing. And then recently, Tyrone came up talking about how he didn't stand her up. She knew all about it, and she knew that he wasn't able to leave the house because he was on house arrest or whatever. So, that being said, now she's dating this other reality star, Martell. I'm like,
Kandi, like, I know, look, y'all, look at this. Because Kandi, like, this gonna go somewhere separate. This gonna go somewhere separate, and I don't want to be in it, but I'm in it.
We all know how this works. At the end of the season, when things have wrapped, the show must go on. The story must be told. And is this a thing that we are gearing up for next season? Is this a story for next season? Is this what it's given? Because I saw that whole thing that she did with Freddie O.
On a random street.
Yeah, I mean, come on. And Sandy Springs, the beauty box, the beauty bar, whatever.
Paparazzi.
Even them addressing Sheree's interview on a random empty street in Atlanta is them saying it's giving storyline tease. Because I said before in my review when I talked about it, I said it was so random that anyone will find Sheree and have a camera. I was like, no, it seemed planned. And that to me also shows Sheree not even smart about how she gets caught by someone interviewing her. Girl, how would anyone know you as a one long person on that street by yourself? Okay, you know. So even Shamia and Kandi kind of just saying how that seemed a bit suspect. A bit suspect. But let's keep listening.
Why do you always get me in trouble on here? Stop accepting your invitation.
She's done so good, hasn't she? She said nothing out of the way about nobody.
Now, what I will say, when Marlo got her peach, we talked to you, Kandi, and that was another thing. When you was backing her up, you were saying like, "Oh, I think it's a good thing."
Yeah, you were super excited about it.
Talk highly about that.
Her whole
King's like, I'm mad. I was so happy about Marlo monkey ass getting her peach, and look how he talked about me. I don't like it.
Press run, she talked about.
So what happened? That she said something bad. She
Yeah, she came for Kandi. Yeah.
Wait, Marlo's the one with the that's the one with the.
Kandi face says it all. Kandi like, oh, I can't stand that bitch now. Okay, she making me so bad. I cannot wait until this reunion.
Nephews?
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody said keep your opinions to yourself. See, they told me I
You got the one
quiet.
over the Nori beat.
It's more than 3.
They told me to be
saying,
quiet.
trying to kiss your butt because they're like, oh, she said I want to keep my
You got
hands
the one
to
with the
myself.
Nori beat.
So let me just support her on that.
forgot who sings that
We
one.
want to know what your opinion is. We do, and it ain't even that serious. Like you could be like, "Oh, I'm here for her. She like him. We like him. I mean, I love him. You love him. I love him." Or I don't like it. He already married. He on the show where he married. Blah blah blah. He cheated on her. He gonna cheat on you. Whatever your opinion is, let it be.
My opinion is way left of what you even said, child.
Well, they're gonna say, well, if it was Todd they
We
were
coming up in
talking
a
about,
minute.
you would be upset.
Whatever. I was trying to say 40 and 30. I couldn't get it out.
Oh, he got a show this weekend. Are
Right,
you
more?
doing anything with this?
Oh, wait, no.
Is that us?
Not that I know of.
Somebody said it ain't. What you say about be quiet sometimes? Somebody said don't get in trouble, Kandi, but ask the question, Sheree. Oh, somebody said how's your relationship with Portia, Sheree?
Good. I'm actually the matron of honor at her wedding.
Ooh.
Kandi.
Yes.
You know I gotta ask you everything. I mean, I do the Tia. That's what I do.
Lord
She's so mad at me, y'all, and I'm definitely gonna have to buy her breakfast. But I mean, Sheree is dating Martell Holt from Love and Marriage Huntsville. We all already know what he's giving and what he does. So, what you thinking? Like, what's your thoughts on it?
I don't want to give my thought.
Please, come on. What you think?
I don't want to give.
You like it or you hate it? Love or hate?
I don't love or hate.
You here for it? Is he invited to the couples cookout?
Now, Kandi, you know Shamia just said she love you so much because she know you're gonna tell the truth. Now, that's what she said.
Come on.
Oh,
So
God.
what you thinking?
That what she had.
Because she done went from Tyrone to Martell.
Yeah, I don't want her to be in a situation where it feels like, where she's being used for publicity.
And we all said that. We all said Sheree and Martell. Now, what kind of bootleg R&B reality show they trying to do together? Is it publicity? And Kandi has the juice.
I don't know him. Don't get me wrong. But earlier this year, and I got to be honest, family friend of mine who was on another reality show hit me up to go out on a date with him at Blaze and was like, oh, could you have another table open for us because we're going to have somebody taking our pictures and videos so that they can post it and da-da-da-da, like this was something they had. And I was like, okay.
Oh, got it. So we
they went on the date, but no blog really posted, only like one place posted it. But my whole point was, now that I see this similar situation, I'm like, is he doing this? Or like, is he being genuine, or is he doing the same thing that he was doing with the other person I knew? So that's when I was like, ugh.
Oh, wow.
That's fair.
Weird.
That's fair. Because it doesn't look a little, it looks a little strange. You know
It's a little cringing.
And I feel cringy right now because I know everybody's gonna be like, Kandi said, and I know I'm gonna be. Everybody's gonna be mad at me. Well, but I didn't do anything.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you speaking on it.
So, because I am a consummate let me find out person, I said, look, if Kandi's saying, you know what I'm saying, that only a blog or two picked it up and it happened early, I gotta find the footage. And what did I go and do? I went and I found the footage. Okay. Yes, it is Lyric from Beyond the Pole. Okay. Lyric Belaziza. Okay. This is the footage, okay, of them at Blaze on their date being recorded from across the way. So Kandi was correct. Okay, that Martell and somebody else tried to date a little bit together to get some attention. But whose plan was it? Okay, was it Martell's plan? Was it Lyric's plans? Who planned for them to be seen together? Martell gives, very much so, I'll do whatever I need to do to fix my image. Okay, and I've never watched Beyond the Pole. I don't know, but I mean, it's weird to me. But again, Kandi said it. I found it, so there was footage of him on a date with another person from a different reality show. And again, it was on two random YouTube pages, and then I seen it on Google. Gotta find it and bring it to y'all. So again, Kandi went live. So that's why she felt how she felt. Okay, shout out to Kandi for always having all the tea. Okay, bald-headed ass Martell out here on a date with somebody else.
And to be clear, this, like I said, This has nothing to do with my feelings about Sheree. I got much love for Sheree,
Right.
whatever. This ain't
We all
nothing-
love Sheree.
You know, nothing negative. And I do not know Martell personally. You know, I don't have anything bad to say about him personally.
Baby Martell's trying to get that peach.
I'm not saying anything about him as a person, to be clear. I'm just saying because of the prior, it just made me kind of question.
And that's why we
his
love you.
motives.
Because you keep it 100. And thank you for coming and hanging out with us. You have definitely filled my tea cup.
You Miss Bravo. Golly. I'm going to end up on somebody's blog today and not some good.
You
It is just your opinion.
already on the block.
She said nothing bad.
I wasn't trying to say anything bad, but you know,
You
that was
always have a
like,
connection.
No, you said
y'all know I know everybody.
You said that perfectly. You said that perfectly.
She be so scared. I'm
Nah,
like,
everybody-
I don't want to keep getting myself into trouble.
I'm not gonna ask you nothing else nasty.
I'll be back.
Hey y'all, is y'all
be
mad
mad
at
at
me?
me.
Y'all mad at me? Did I do something wrong today?
They, of course, they're not mad at you.
It's probably already live.
But
on
I'm saying they said
somebody's
Shamia being
blog. Like,
messy.
It's live already.
Watch.
Y'all, it's journalism. I'm doing my job.
Watch. You know what's going to happen?
We did just say goodbye though, but
How much y'all want to bet somebody going to be saying, that is not true.
What's
It
not
is
true?
so true.
They're gonna
What's-
find the
what's
blog.
not true?
You know, and never mind, we'll talk about it
It's
later.
already on.
But anyway, I mean, I think she handled it good. You know, I think it was a good interview. Don't nobody want to sit around and hear about lame shit. Like, people want to really know what's what. You can't say shit on the radio, but you can say it on the live.
Let's be clear. I am not at work.
See,
you are at work.
Kandi is so honest. Kandi, we love you. Like, you gotta. That's the thing. Like, everybody has an opinion. Now, whether or not you say it, that's one thing. But you are entitled to your opinion. Everybody got a word in them. It is what it is. Oh, what do you think about Khalees? She already told y'all. It's a bit.
So again, Kandi gets into the whole Khalees situation. Now, Kandi was first talking, and she was talking because you can tell she did not know the details of what was going on. Because Kandi was initially explaining things from a perspective of if a person owns the rights to their stuff, because currently she probably owns the right to stuff she's making out. So because, you know, none of us are in the music business, I want y'all to hear what Kandi had to say about the whole Khalees Beyonce situation, okay?
Business of it. She's thinking publishing and.
I didn't really say what I thought. I mean, I just feel like if, in fact, her song was sampled, she could benefit highly off of it because all she got to do is, you know, make them pay money, because like her publishing company can go after them and they'll end up sometimes like when you don't.
But see,
I
that's the
saved
thing.
it
That's what
online.
she was saying.
It's like a list of people like that that I saw a post that showed like all these people who sampled songs that they didn't clear first. If you do not clear the song before you release it, it's like you have to pay way more publishing to that person than if you negotiated it before. Because a person can't just sample your record. If they sample your record, they still have to give you some type of percentage of that record, which makes a new copyright for you. So that's what, like, for me, like, say, for instance, you know, Ed Sheeran's song or, like, Ariana Grande's song that, you know, they sampled one of the songs I wrote for NSYNC. They took some of the lyrics from that. So, you know, they hit us up before they released it, but they had to give me a percentage of that song. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but other people who have taken percentages of songs that they don't clear ahead of time, then they have to come back after the song release, then be like, oh, okay, well, we see you use that, so this is how much we want.
So a lot of people she was saying that she was more so upset at like the Neptunes of Pharrell, because she said he hasn't written anything on any of her albums, however he's getting publishing for it.
Well, see, that's business 101. A lot of times when people sign you, they, you know, make you, or not make you, but they have something in there saying they get part of your publishing. That's how, like, all these managers and
so even if you wrote it, it's kind of like
labels and production companies, when they sign these artists, they put in their deals that they get part of their publishing. That's a part of it. He probably at the time had it in the deal that he gave her, that he signed her, he got a percentage of
and she didn't know. She didn't know that.
I mean, she probably, I don't know.
She probably didn't even know what she signed. You know, 'cause back in the day, you like just happy to get a damn opportunity.
But you gotta also remember, like, people always complain about what their deals are after they blow up. But you have to remember, when these people first signed you, you didn't have nothing, and you didn't have no hits.
Their money out. Yeah.
Your hits was not making no money until that person, you know, helps you get to where it was. So they contributed in a different way, and that was their contribution in getting the percentage that they all, you know, that they had you to sign away or whatever.
Do you feel like Beyonce owed her to at least tell her? She was saying how they hang in some of the same circles with some of the same people. She could have at least just called her or just told her that it was going to be like that. Nobody told her. You feel like they were wrong for just blindsiding her with it?
How you know that Beyonce know that was a sample from her song? Because we just listened to the song.
And it didn't sound nothing like it to me. Nothing like
Lil Wayne didn't know. He was used to sample one.
I mean, you can get a track from, I mean, you know, if you get the track, the track jamming, you don't really know where it came from.
Yeah, true.
But everybody,
That's true.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like you should know. Like
people don't always
But people be like, well, her team should have, you know, said something or done something. But
I mean, at the end of the day, the business is gonna get handled.
that's true.
Get your money, girl. That's all you can do, right?
If she actually has writing credit on it.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, they sampled my song.
Right,
I didn't get paid.
The whole video, you know.
I like, I better stream that new record. That what she should have
Janet said everything.
Because she gonna get paid.
And then have people start downloading my old song.
Right, because if she has a legit claim on the record, she can still get the money. She can still get the percentage. So,
Yeah. Well,
I don't really know, because the question is, does she have publishing on the original song?
that's what I don't think she does, which is why nobody had to tell her anything. Which is why nobody felt the need to even involve her, because when you look on the credits, it's just got like Pharrell and some other people.
Oh, so you looked at the credits of her original song,
and it just has. I don't see her. I mean,
okay, awesome.
Oh, so she didn't write it.
And bring you all back up. Okay.
People don't understand.
She's saying that she did, but they stole. Basically, said she was robbed. Okay.
So is she saying that she wrote it, or did she just sing it?
She said.
See, this is what people need to understand. That's a difference too.
Hey, y'all,
If a person samples a record, right? The sample, they have to pay the label who owns the license for that record. They have to pay them a license fee for the sample, right? That's the label who owns the record. That's not the artist. And then they have to also pay
right after this.
the writers for the royalties of the actual song itself for the publishing. But so you don't get paid for a sample as an artist. Who the writers of that song? Does it say who the writers are? They produced it. As a producer, he is a writer. What is she talking about?
So Kandi is like, girl, listen to me because I know what I speak, okay? And I wanted y'all to fully hear what she was saying, but even her just saying how, looking at the credits on the song, why is Khalees saying Pharrell was not a writer if he produced it, when in music, if you are a producer, that also gets you credit in writing what it was, okay? But keep listening.
The release of Renaissance that came out 9 hours ago, the Beyonce new album. Khalees went public and she expressed some disdain, shall we say, with the fact that I guess there's a record called Energy on the album,
Right. It is.
in which there's a Kelly sample.
Okay.
Right.
Khalees is upset.
Yeah, well, it samples her song called "Get Along with You," which the Neptunes produced for her back in '99 on her debut album.
Yeah.
And she's upset because she feels like it's downright robbery. She says no one informed her of this sample, not even Beyonce, nobody from her team. She said she would have even been okay if someone just called and said, hey, we're doing this. But she says, but that's not the first time. And then she even kind of took a dig at Riri, because somebody in the comments said, I feel like a lot of people have been like Khalees with the creativity, and like even like Rihanna. And she says, oh, well, I'll say that for a later date. Girl, you sounded real mad.
So Kandi, as a major weight in the music industry for a very long time, you have the correct insight that people need to know about the schematics of how those sample situation actually works.
Got it. Okay, so mind you, I don't know her actual setup for I don't know if she was the actual writer on the song or if she was just the performer on the song. So let's first look at it from a writer standpoint. If somebody samples your song and you were a writer, meaning that you wrote lyric, melody, or you actually did the music of the song, right? The track, right? So Pharrell, I'm sure he's a producer, so I'm sure he did the track, so that means that's how he's a writer on the song. That is still considered a writer. So I don't understand why she said he wasn't a writer. Right. Okay. So if you were one of those people that had a part of the publishing of the song and somebody samples it and they don't inform you, then you can still go back and make them pay you, and then you can get a bigger percentage because they did not negotiate coming to you first before they released it, right? But let's say you are an artist. You did not write the song. They do not have to inform you if they sample the song. So what happens is when they sample it, the person who owns the master, you know how people say, I got my master. Yeah. Whoever owns the master, which is a lot of times the record label, they are able to charge a fee, a license fee, or whatever they charge their fees for the sample. And then they still have to negotiate the publishing to the writers. So the writers always make money off of a song that is sampled later. And if they actually, because though it's different, if you replay it, you don't even have to pay for the sample. You get what I'm saying? If you replay it. But if somebody likes, how some DJs actually take the actual record from the thing and sample it that way, then you have to pay a fee to the person who owns the master and the writers.
Well, I'll be honest.
Not the artist.
Okay.
So that's why people get a misunderstanding.
Right.
Yeah. So like when you hear Escape sampled on other people's record, unfortunately Escape don't get paid for that sample. It's dope to hear us on other people's songs, unless it's a song that we actually had writer's credit on.
Okay.
Gotcha. So I listen to both, and of course I'm a huge Beyonce fan, but I honestly didn't really get it. It didn't sound that much like it to me. I'm not saying that it's not a sample, because obviously that's not the argument here. But as an artist, I could have easily sang on that and not have known it came from Khalees.
Right. But and that's the other thing everybody wants to, blame Beyonce for not knowing. So that's what I'm saying. I don't really know the situation at hand. I don't know if Khalees was a writer on the song and nobody informed her. I can understand how she may be upset. But if she wasn't a writer and just the artist, then they may have already cleared that record, because y'all said that didn't Pharrell produce the record?
Absolutely.
He may have already cleared the sample.
Good point.
As a writer on the song.
Beyonce been in the game how long? I can't see her putting an album, a song on her album that has not been cleared. She ain't a rookie.
No, she's not a rookie. So yeah, I don't know. We need more details.
Right.
Boom. You hear me? Yeah, Kandi was out here speaking on it. Okay, and that's why I want y'all to hear the whole thing, because again, we regular folk who are not in the music business and who don't do writing and producing and stuff, we don't know nothing. But again, Kandi's point was, from a business standpoint, Beyonce did the right thing. Khalees was speaking more from a feeling, what she thought, how she felt like things should have happened, and that's why I kept saying her energy should not have been going to Beyonce. Was my whole point. Someone else, Shamia even said how, you heard the song, you didn't even hear it was Khalees. And also it could have been Pharrell who brought the tracks to Beyonce, because it was his track and they had to get a license because that's what it was. So it's a good thing that, Beyonce may not have even known where it came from. Is the point. I think once they had to get licensing from it, when they had to say, okay, we have to get a license because it's from this song, that could have been when she found out, that's this song. Hey, cool. Let me put Khalees' name on the listing of everyone that I sampled something from. That's what I felt the whole time. I still say Khalees' energy should be strictly or primarily for the Neptunes, Pharrell and Chad. Okay, now let's move on, honey, to the Bishop, who did a whole press conference today because he's full of foolishness. And then after this, we are done. Okay, but take a little second and like the video. Because liking is the thing to do. So, y'all know Bishop Whitehead, Bishop Robbery, Bishop, Mr. and Mrs. Robin, all these things out here still causing confusion and confliction and every other confusing word that starts with a C. Okay, now I was like, yes, this need in the girl, okay? Thank y'all for liking my shirt. Yes, it's the Golden Girls. The Golden Girls. Okay, look, my little sweatshirt. I was gonna put on my St. Louis one because it's sitting right there on my left phone, does something different, okay? Not Bishop Bootsy. So, two things with this man, okay? And you see he hold his lip balm in his hand as he's walking through with his Fendi shirt. His wife out here in her, Burberry print coat, jacket, whatever. Flashy people is fine. So, first of all, he's currently being accused, or the accusation is coming back up. So he's being accused of scamming a churchgoer by the name of Pauline Anderson, who's about 50. I think they say she's in her 50s. But he scams her out of $90,000. So last year, Pauline Anderson sued that man, okay, because she said she gave that man $90K out of her retirement savings plan. It was to invest, allegedly, in his Lamar Whitehead Incorporated business. I don't know what that business was, but, he convinced her to do that. Now, she met him through her son, Rashid, who had went to the church as well, and apparently, allegedly, Bishop Robbery had helped Rashid get a house, that year or within that time frame. So Pauline alleges that Bishop promised to help her buy a house because she was having a hard time doing that because she has bad credit. So Bishop Robbery introduced Miss Pauline to two money lenders, who told her, hey, it'll be hard for you to get a loan because of your credit. So then Bishop offered to help her himself if she would invest in his business. Now, I still don't know what the business was, but whatever. So they say that she gave him a check for $90,000 back in November of 2020, and he was supposed to give her $100 a month to pay bills. I say, what kind of bills you have that it only takes $100 a month? I'm like, I don't know. But anyway, it was supposed to be to kind of help while he did whatever he do to help her buy a home. Well, she never got that far. Okay, now per the Javin brand, the bishop stated that the money that she gave was a donation to his campaign. At the time, he was running for the Brooklyn Borough president. It was a donation for that. It was not an investment into his business that he had any point, or he had no intention to pay her back for. So what he was saying, again, is according to Javin brand, is that yes, she gave me some money, but it was not an investment. The money she gave me was a donation, so I don't have to give her nothing back. I'm like, do regular folk really donate $90K? I don't know how. Why would she invest all her savings into you running for the borough president or whatever? That's scam. Okay, that's some scammy shit if I ever seen it. I was like, the crazy part is he be saying stuff that don't make no sense, and then when folk be like, sir, but that don't make no sense. He still be saying it as if it's true and like we should believe. I said, but we don't believe that. We don't believe you. No, you're lying. You're lying. We think you're all lying. But he said, no, I'm not. Now, the Jasmine brand released text messages that was in the court records. I have to pull it up to see it because it's really, really little. Okay, I'm going to leave it there while I go off screen to read the text. Now, these texts were allegedly between the lady's son and the bishop. Okay, and these texts are from May 19th. Okay, it says, "Good morning, Rashid." So again, this is the Bishop Robbery talking to Rashid, who was the son of the woman who's saying you stole my money. So Bishop Robbery says, "Good morning, Rashid. You are a liar, and I promise you, God will deal with you. If you want to hire a lawyer, have them contact me. At this point, you are a liar, a deceiver. Nothing you have said is accurate, and you have a demon that only God can deal with. Now, watch God's judgment on your life." Psalms 105:15. He then said, "You are trying to make false documents by text. You will see how much God loves me." How are you using God as a weapon? Who uses God as a weapon against someone else? Who does that? Anyway, he says, "You are a liar and deceiver. I'm in awe of how the devil is using you. However, I knew it was coming. Now beware of the beware of the hand of judgment will hit your life and everything that's connected to you." Did you just curse that man in the name of Jesus? What kind of bishop of the Lord does that? I'm telling y'all, not one that I know. Okay. He then said, "I will also send you proof and bills from people that I hired months ago to start the process of investments. And for the record, anything that was given to me is a donation unless it's attached to a contract. I was making investments. That's what I do, for the record." And then it says, all of this because of what? Because you took money that you refused to pay back. Now, this is, I believe, this is the Rashid dude talking back to Bishop Robbery man. All this because of what? Because you took money that you refused to pay back, and now you're quoting scripture to save your purpose. To serve your purpose. This is so offensive. And did you just go there? You said you were a man of integrity. Where in all of this is that? So much passive aggressive tone in your conversations. I told you already, we are not having it back and forth. This is not my style, and it shouldn't be yours as you lead followers. Think about that. Now you are actually asking God to strike me. To strike my son because you both fell out with each other. Oh, this is the mama. Sorry, y'all. This is the mama talking back to this man. So again, what he said was, now you are actually asking God to strike my son because you both fell out with each other. Unbelievable. I don't have to tell you who you are every time you text. It speaks to the heart of who you are. I am hereby notifying you, Bishop, that as of today, you have 5 business days to return the money May 25th, 2021, or I will be notifying the police, the press, and your campaign. And I'm back on screen now. He out here scamming, y'all. He out here scamming. I was like, who does that? Who does that? Anyway, y'all, let's get into the press conference that this man had. Okay? Oh, that's the other part of it. But let's get into the press conference that this man had. So, Pastor so-and-so was out here. I'm pulling it up. First, he went live on his IG to tell us he's going to be live at a press conference. Then he had his live press conference. Bishop so-and-so is on to some bullshit. You hear me? So we're going to watch this press conference. We're going to have a conversation along the way, and then we're done. Every time I say I do not want to go to damn lab for 2 hours, what I be doing? On this lab for 2 damn hours. Okay? Let's get into what he said. Y'all ready? Let's go.
Oh man, boy, I tell you, social media is undefeated. I'm not gonna.
Sir, the reason social media is undefeated is because you keep getting on social media. It's weird that he says how social media is this or that, but you stay on here. Go on somewhere, Bishop Robbery.
Be on long, y'all. I just wanted to make a quick announcement. I just wanted to come on real fast just to let everyone know that I will be having, I will be having a press conference tomorrow at 12 noon. I'll be having right at the church, right in front of the church at 922 Remsen Avenue.
But he didn't tell us that he don't own that church? Didn't he tell us he's renting that space? I'm just saying.
Brooklyn, New York, 11236. Look at the flyer. Look at the fire. Look at the flyer. I tell y'all, let me tell you, stop believing everything y'all see, man. Y'all are really like believing these tabloids, man. Let me tell y'all something, man. Let the courts deal with it, man.
What he means is everybody who's saying, hey, you around here stealing from the people in your congregation, what is you doing? That's what he's saying. Stop believing the tabloids, okay? Stop. But the tabloids is allegedly getting information from the police. Right, a flyer for a press conference. Just saying.
Stop believing the hype. All right? Stop believing it, y'all. All right? There's people out here that do not like the bishop and they want to change who I am, y'all. They want in y'all vision. Listen, stop believing the hype. Stop believing the hype. Come on, y'all smarter than that. All right. Anyway, let's go. So, thank you guys for tuning in to this brief live. I wanted to make sure it was brief. And I just want to let y'all know, stop believing the hype. Stop believing the hype, y'all. Now y'all sitting here texting me about something else. Let the courts deal with that.
Why do you speak so much? Where's your lawyer? Where's your manager? I feel like you must have one. It's weird, but he keeps speaking of stuff. Sir, just stop talking.
When you reach a certain level, everybody wants to sit there and try to be special. That's all I got to say.
Not want to be special. I feel like what level have you reached that you feel like somebody wants to be special and come after you? I don't know.
Stop believing the hype. I ain't take nothing from nobody. Stop believing the hype. Come on.
I think he has. I think him saying I did not take something from someone is his way of saying, hey, she gave it to me. It was a donation. Please, sir, can I have some more? Is what he's saying. But I still feel like he be lying.
Y'all smarter than that.
I am.
Come on, y'all smarter than that. Let's go, y'all. So, meet me tomorrow. Meet me tomorrow at 12 noon. You don't have to be clergy. Just come on out. Support the bishop. Y'all come on out. Come on out. If you love me, come on out. Support the bishop. Support the bishop. Because
isn't it supposed to be about supporting God? Isn't it supposed to be about, you know what I'm saying, trying to uplift the people in the word of God? It's not about you. It's not about you.
We must support each other. And everybody that's supporting this fake news, right? When y'all see the truth, what are y'all going to do? Say, I'm sorry? Stop jumping to conclusions, y'all. No. Stop missing the mark. All right? Stop missing the mark. Stop missing the mark. I'm standing 10 toes down.
In what?
And I'm standing forward. Amen? Because God got me. The Bible says, if God's before you, no man can be against you. The Bible says in Proverbs 105:15, Touch not my anointing and do my prophet no harm.
You is harming your flock, sir. Please stop blaming everyone else who's calling you out on things that just seem weird. It's stuff that just doesn't seem right. There's no one trying to attack you. I also feel like, where is anyone in his congregation trying to defend him? Because usually when things like this happen, you don't see the head of it speaking. Usually it's people who support him. We ain't heard nobody except him defend him.
For I will send a famine to the land. God bless you guys. I love you guys, the love of Jesus. Y'all stay focused, stay firm. And when all of the truth come out, I just want y'all to say, thank you, Jesus. Amen. Just say, thank you, Jesus. Stop believing these false reports.
The false reports coming from you.
Amen. Let's keep our focus. Press conference tomorrow at noon. God bless you. Stay focused and stay firm. Thank you so much. Amen. I will not be discouraged and I will not be defeated because God has given me the victory. God bless you.
With no weapons.
So this man had a press conference. He had the press conference outside the church. You want to know why? Because he don't own the church. I feel like you fully said you own a block, that you own the block. You have a whole block that you own. If you own buildings, if you own this or that, no one would want to have a press conference outside. Y'all did not even remove the other people's banner from behind you. Y'all did not even sweep around the front door. Okay, it's a little bit messy over there. You did not even do nothing around here to make anything look presentable. Okay, I was like, what is going on here? Now, the part that I cut out was him asking all the media to send an email. Let us know you coming. All the media, make sure to be there or be square. Okay, and I also feel like, are you really having a press conference at a rented baby shower hall? Where's your backdrop? Why would y'all not set up the backdrops so the thing? Who is that behind you? Who is behind you? And not only that, the funny part throughout this whole video is the fact that because they're outside, y'all know New York is a loud place. You hear everything. You hear planes, trains, automobiles, bikes, music, all kinds of stuff is playing around in the background, singing in the background. Yeah. I kept laughing. I'm like, right, rent a spoon. I'm like, what is going on around here? How is any of this happening? I don't understand it. I don't. For him to wear all, yes. I fully agree. Tack up the backdrops. So again, as we watch this live, because we're gonna fully watch it, you're gonna hear loudness of cars, buses, whatever. This is why I say a true person who is a professional in this and is all this higher up or whatever would never have had a press conference outside on a busy street. They would have had a press conference inside somewhere. If you rent that space for church, you couldn't rent it for the press conference. Y'all couldn't have a press conference on the inside. That to me shows it's a bunch of bullshit. Right. Welcome to Brooklyn. Because you hear stuff, because it's a city. You know what I'm saying? It's a city. So I'm like, and then the fact that this live was from his IG page, you did not even have a person who you gave your phone to record this a good seat. You have them standing behind other people because you wanted to have this. I'm like, this bad publicity and managers, in my opinion. But let's get to listening.
We come into the house of the Lord vulnerable. We come into the house of the Lord and we drop our regret. We drop things that people.
Not the Citgo gas station in the shop. Not the rental cop on the side. Not who these white people. You hire photographers. I'm just like, and I'm not dogging any area because some areas had the clothing bins and the front of a church look a little, the front of a building may look a little bit run down, but you didn't tell nobody, hey, don't pan over and show the Citgo gas prices. Don't do that. I want you to keep it focused on me. Okay, keep it focused on me. But no, I was like, Jesus, what is going on? Yes, the dude in the plaid pants. I kept on saying this. Is he a part of the ministry? Or was he walking around and stopped because it was cameras? It just seemed like the most randomest of randomness here. And I'm like, what's going on? What's happening? But again, this is his press conference that he posted. That's the unbothered deacon in his outside clothes. But again, let's keep y'all. It's this press conference. Just the overall look of it was funny.
Have done to us on the outside, whether it's loved ones, whether it's people that did not know us. We walk into this church, our houses of worship. We walk into this church, whatever worship center you go to, with a whole heart, with a contrite heart, with a forgiving heart, with a heart not to look over our back and our shoulders for people to harm us or hurt us. But on July 24th, as leaders of Tomorrow International Ministries, as we were in church, and as I began,
he gonna recount what happened. I feel like he adding shit that didn't happen.
To preach a sermon called Remember Me. And this sermon was entitled Remember Me because Isaiah, the prophet, came to Hezekiah and said,
we can't hear nothing he's saying. You wanna know why? Because the bus of the Lord is riding past. He didn't think, hey, what time the buses run? Should we schedule it at a time the buses, like if the buses run every 20 minutes, okay, the bus hit here around 12:15, let's have it at 12:17. Let's get a bus 2 minutes and let's wait for all the buses to keep going. Okay?
your time is up and you're going to die. And Hezekiah prayed and said, Lord, remember me. It's not by accident that God allowed me to preach that sermon to remember me. Because God remembered us. God remembered us. And there was no fatality. And as I got into the pulpit, 3 armed men.
I thought it was 4. Didn't he say 4 before? Was it 3 or 4? But now it's 3. Okay.
3 armed men ran into my church with guns out, guns drawn. And my parishioners didn't even know what was happening. And as I began to preach my sermon and looking at the front door, and I saw the door rip open, and 3 armed men coming in with pistols. And the only thing that I can do is say, okay, 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 with my hands up. To show them that I surrender. To show my church that I shepherd, that we are not going to fight.
You're not going to fight. You're not going to fight. But you also said in your other live that after they ran out from getting your stuff, you tried to chase them down in your car. I'm just saying what you said.
And as I put the mic down, I told the church to get down.
We didn't hear that, sir. We heard the footsteps. We heard your collar getting yoked off. We heard stuff falling. No one heard you say, everybody get down. everyone get down. That's the only thing we did not hear. I think he keep forgetting the microphone was right there.
And when they start to roll and look around, the women and children start to scream.
We didn't hear no screams. We didn't hear no screams. Did he forget the footage was out? We thought wasn't nobody there. It's like he's making up a story that maybe in his head he thought that's what happened, but it's like, no. We kept saying that's the quietest robbery we've ever heard. People said, oh, but that was it. That was it. No one was screaming, crying. Stop lying.
Holla. As the 3 gunmen came to the pulpit and put a gun to my head. And one of the gunmen went to my wife, who was right on my side, holding my 8-month-old baby. They put the gun in my 8-month-old baby's face. As they took all of the jewelry from my wife, I was still held at gunpoint.
I felt like, is the police coming to arrest him? It got to be the police coming to get him. Because everybody, is the police arresting him? Is the police coming for him? Because y'all know he's lying. Is it the police? Okay. But let's keep listening.
And the man that robbed me took my Episcopal ring, my wedding ring, my watch, my bishop's chain and cross, because we were celebrating communion. And then he started to tap my back and said, what else do you have? He started to tap my back, and he felt my other chains underneath my robe. And he began to rip my sacred collar off my neck. The collar of the yoke. When I was consecrated, they had to put the collar as I became a bishop.
I feel like, if that's a sacred yoke around your neck, don't have all your chains around there too. If that's so sacred while in church, why do you have your godly, sacred thing around your neck also around there with a whole bunch of jewelry? Because you want to be flashy. But I'm leave that be.
And he ripped it maliciously. And as you can see in the video, he continued to jerk it and pull my chain.
But let's also say, and I'm not defending the robbers, what I'm saying is, in his last live, he said they asked him where's the other jewelry that he knew he had on. If your collar was so sacred, why would you not allow them to do that by saying, okay, let me take off the other jewelry? But I'm letting him go.
But it wouldn't come off, so he told me, take it off with the gun to my head. And as I looked at my congregation, and they were all rolled over on the floor, I was a helpless shepherd. They trusted me, and I couldn't protect them in this moment. And as I took off my jewelry and gave it to them, 2 of them ran, 1 came back and started tapping my pockets. But then he ran off. And as soon as he turned his back and got to the door, I ran behind him. Because I wanted to be in front of my church. If they came back, they would hit me first.
So you telling us the people who robbed you and left, you ran back, you chased them, because if they came back, you want them to shoot you first? If they was going to shoot anybody, they would have shot y'all before they left, sir. I'm just saying, the stuff he be saying don't be making no sense. None at all. I got up and I chased them. We know, but that didn't make any sense. None at all. Now, before he said, I got up and I made sure to have somebody check on my wife and then I left. Sir, them people left because they had what they wanted. Thank you, California QTs. Does he still want to hug the robbers. I wonder too. Right, helpless, but still had the strength to chase them while they had guns and you did not. The lies, the lies, the lies.
I wanted to protect my church. And then I began to go downstairs, and as I seen them through the window, seeing them funneling across the
You gotta point up to the window. I seen them up there. Up there. That window. I seen it. I seen it.
street, wandering. And I jumped in my car. I began to chase them, but I couldn't find them. And I drove up and down Avenue D. So I'm here.
So someone who said, I got up to make sure if they came back and shot my church up, I'll get here first. But you left. You left the building. So if anyone will come back and shoot them up, you know what I'm saying, shoot them up, bang, bang, you gone.
Today, not to continue with this story because you heard it, but I'm here today because houses of worship need to be protected. We need to be protected. I want to go through just a few notes of mine.
No.
Because the media.
First of all, I'm like, do we hear rats in the back? Like, do y'all hear, like, do it sound like it's like rats in the background? Are those rats? I'm not from New York, but I've heard New York has like, it's like a regular thing or whatever. Or is it like birds chirping? I'm confused. I don't know.
For some reason, you portray black men as criminals. My church can't get no sympathy nor empathy. The media portrayed me as the bling bling bishop. They portrayed my car. They talked about my Fendi jacket. They talked about me. And they did not even want to talk anymore about what the bishop has done.
So he was talking about when he was trying to get famous, but having that guy turn himself in. So he's saying how the media only showed me with my nice old Fendi outfit on, and then my Bentley truck or whatever, Bentley Rolls Royce stuff I can't afford. You know, they put me as the bling bling bishop, and I feel like this. No one is saying that he can't dress nice, but y'all, it's like, sir, you do know that these stores or these brands have great outfits that don't have a print all over it. Just saying. It's the fact that you buy stuff that you know shows the brand. That's what looks tacky. You can have on a full Gucci suit or some Fendi, but find something that does not have the print all over it. So, and it's also not only that, you out here in these outfits, and I feel like your congregation don't have the same tax bracket as you. We know that by the location of your church with the bars in the windows. And that's no tea, no shade. I'm saying the point people was making is you probably have very, very regular working folk in your congregation, but you around here being flossy. I'm flossy. Okay, that's what it was. Thank you, Dwayne. It's PL. He's giving me love. Not love murder tease. I like love murder. That's my boyfriend. Okay, but he can't blame the media who show him when he wears stuff to get attention. Every brand does not have their clothes that have their print all over it. A lot of these brands have stuff that's Gucci. You don't have to know it's Gucci unless you see the tag, unless you see, you know what I'm saying? That's my thing. It seems like you buy stuff that shows what it is because you want attention. That's what's stupid. That's what don't make sense to me. So stop blaming the media for what you put out there. A lot of folk wear stuff and you have no idea what the brand is. until you buy something that has the print of the brand. I'm just saying. Thank you, Dwayne, for another check. He chased after the most important things to him: his jewelry and his pride. But let's keep listening.
This was a man that was wanted for murder. This was a man that was alleged to commit a crime against a New Yorker. One of, if not the greatest city in the world. And after that, my life changed. Because all the media started to plaster me, not as a bishop, but as a black man that was convicted, that has a felony, and nobody else wanted to talk about what Mr. Whitehead has done. So nobody wanted to talk about that. The young man turned himself in and surrendered. Everybody wanted to talk about the bling bling bishop.
Because you know what? Because the bishop showed up to turn in a murder suspect in a Rolls Royce truck. I think it was either a Rolls Royce truck or a Bentley or whatever, and in Fendi. That's weird as you couldn't come in a goddamn jogging suit. Had you been in a jogging suit, had you been real inconspicuous, no one would have noticed shit, but you came there dressed to get attention. That's the part he keeps ignoring. He's making it seem as if I was standing around in an all-black outfit, in an all-black car, and they just focus on me. No, you came in a Fendi printed suit. You parked your Bentley truck, car, whatever it was, on the street right by the police, knowing it was all the police, and you knew who you dressed for the attention. You knew it was going to be cameras there because the murder had been on the news. You could have. We see when shit go down. Folks who used to be all dressed up, when something crazy happened, they be real low key because no one has time to go grab their Jesus piece, their diamond necklace or whatever, and their Fendi printed jacket because you're going to do something real serious like. That's what's crazy. But he wants to blame everybody else for the attention that he gets when he puts the attention on himself. I'm going to leave that be, and then I'll keep talking.
That the media portrayed. And then they wanted to go, oh, he was convicted for scheme to defraud, grand larceny. And then, as a black man, they always bring up our past.
Well, no, sir. This is why they brought the past up, okay? Because, yes, the black bishop who pulled up in an expensive Bentley truck, in a huge diamond necklace and watch and ring, and in Fendi print down. Yes, they looked into who you were. And when you have a past, if someone Googles your name, your past does come up. And then they're like, oh, what, he went to prison for scheming and scamming? Oh, he got out and started, making money. But what happened? Usually people who do not want attention drawn to their past mistakes don't try to create some of the tension around themselves. And sometimes if you just shut up, because I told y'all, T.I. said, I hate to quote T.I., but T.I. said at one point, you give stories 3 days to die down. You don't address shit because folks will forget. He addressed everything. He does all this shit to get attention and gets mad at the attention he gets. But let's keep listening.
They always bring up our past. But they don't want to say that Bishop Whitehead was illegally convicted.
No. He keeps saying that as if he was innocent of what he was accused of. When what it seemed like happened was the search warrant they had wasn't valid. And y'all know if you don't have a valid search warrant, any evidence found during that search is supposed to be inadmissible. So that's what he means when he say I was illegally convicted. It does not mean he did not do it. It means because I was convicted based on evidence that was found with a faulty search warrant, I should not have been convicted, even if I was guilty. But that's why his charges were not overturned. He got out on parole because you did that shit. But I'm leaving it be.
They don't want to say that they forged search warrants in order to convict me. They don't want to talk about how they hid all the evidence and lied to my attorneys to convict me. But everybody wants to talk about that I went to prison.
I mean, but you did.
Typical black man. Let's talk about my father, Arthur Miller.
What your daddy got? Let that man rest in peace. He bringing everything but the kitchen sink to wash the dishes. Okay, you bringing everything in here to wash dishes except the goddamn. You bringing the toilet in here. You bringing a microwave in here. You bringing some jujubes in here. You bringing some clothes, washing detergent. We don't need any of that shit to wash dishes. Your father, may rest in peace, don't have nothing to do with what your daddy was. His father died when he was 6 weeks old. His father died when he was 6 weeks old. I think he said back in 78. Why are you bringing that up now? Because he wants to skirt around what they're there for.
Who was killed when I was 6 weeks old, beat and strangled to death by 16 police officers by the 77th precinct. And I had to grow up without a father. I didn't have nobody to teach me how to be a man.
Which is why I ended up in prison.
Because of the color of my father's skin. But yet, my church, nobody can empathize or sympathize with us. You want to know why?
In these tabloids.
Not do that. I was like, you finna hit the wrong damn button.
Teach me how to be a man.
Boom. I got back to the right place. The reason no one can have sympathy for your church is because you won't allow anyone to just digest what happened. You have to be the center of attention. And the more you talk, the more holes you keep poking in this goddamn Swiss cheese. You done brought in your conviction from what you did back in the day, your dead father, the white cops who killed him before when he was 6 weeks old, everything else except the fact that a robbery happened. Let that be. No one can feel bad for you because you keep making it worse.
Because of the color of my father's skin. But yet, my church, nobody can empathize or sympathize with us. You want to know why? Because you're plastering their pastor, his past. And nobody wants to talk about these 3 men that came into this church and violated us.
We talk about them too. We have fully talked about them too. You just funnier. And you won't be quiet. If you stop giving us content, we will stop talking about you and focus on the robbery.
We are a house of worship.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if we're black, brown, white, Asian. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Why are we missing the point?
You missing the point.
Why isn't it enough media talking about what happened to my church?
Because you keep going live acting a plum fool. That's why. You keep bringing up points that don't matter. And when you bring on points that don't matter, we have to keep questioning, well, what the fuck is going on here? Because you keep changing the trajectory of the story.
My wife has not stopped crying.
Then why aren't you not, if your wife has not stopped crying, go console her. Get off live. Why are you holding a press conference? Go console your wife, sir. You don't ever have to have not none of the live to. This is crazy. The robbery was on camera. Why are you trying to defend the fact that you were robbed when we synced it? We all said it happened. We all said that. We also said, why are you going live the following day discussing it and defending yourself and defending all the money y'all been spending on yourselves, And if your wife has not stopped crying, where have you been when she crying? What's she at right now? Your wife, somebody right now crying, go console her.
My daughter has not stopped crying yet.
Oh, if your wife and your daughter crying, what you here for? Jay-Z said in a song, I ain't going nowhere if my household is, not in order. I don't care if it's on fire. I ain't going nowhere. He said that on his, was it the last album? He did. In response to Kanye being upset that Jay-Z did not come to his wedding. He's like, nigga, I'm not leaving the house when the house ain't good. I have to be there to fix my household. Your wife and your kid out here crying. Yes, on 444. Jay-Z said it best. And if you are the hip-hop pastor, you should damn sure know 444. You should really know that. You really should. And he has an 8-month-old daughter and also a 14-year-old daughter. So if your grown adult wife and your 14-year-old daughter will not stop crying, then why on God's green earth do you keep going live? Because y'all do know this man has been live every day since it happened. I've been live every day because I'm a YouTuber. He's been live every day because he wants attention.
My members have not stopped crying yet.
Then why are you not there consoling them? Get off live and have special meetings. Now, I know y'all may not have no place to meet because your regular space is only on Sundays. But as you said, you own the block. Get your block together and get all the congregation to meet with you there, sir.
Nobody's empathizing with my church.
Because you,
they don't even want to come to church no more.
Because you don't own the building, sir. They can't get in there. No one wants to come to church anymore, but that don't have nothing to do with anything, but probably by how you handle this and by their trauma. Because while they were traumatized, you went on lives cussing and fussing like a fool. And now you are in front of a storefront that you don't own with somebody else's picture behind you. Even though you say that you own the block. We have not seen the block yet.
I was on the phone with one of my preachers. She said, Bishop, I'm scared to answer the phone.
Because you want to know why? Because they would have to answer questions about why aren't your bishop having $100K or $400K or $1 million worth of jewelry on at church? Why your bishop don't own the building? Why bishop up here doing step repeats with thumbtacks at the rental property of the baby shower abandoned building? That's what they have to answer because you have put all this information out there.
It just brings so much anxiety. They're beating up on you, Bishop. What are we supposed to do? I'm a black man.
Okay.
In America.
Okay.
Every time I get in my car, I don't know if I'm going to come home.
Oh, Lord. Now, look. While that is absolutely true, that don't have nothing to do with the reason people are questioning you about things. Again, he's bringing up all these extra things to change the narrative of the questions people have. But let's keep listening.
Because we die for less. So today, I want to bring our attention to a few points, and I'm going to open it for questions. Everybody is setting a narrative that all of this, it was $1 million, it was $400,000, all that's garbage. Nobody can quote that I said any of that, but to sell newspapers and to sell media, y'all put whatever number you want on its face.
Well, they said that's what the NYPD said. And this is the gotcha. If there's false information about how much the jewelry costs, you may not want to give an exact amount. But I would say, it wasn't 400 grand, but it was about 150 because our wedding bands cost 20 apiece. You know what I'm saying? You can, but to make it seem as if, the media made up numbers. The media get the information from the police. Period.
And I don't get the opportunity to defend myself.
Sir, you have been live every day defending yourself. Every day. You have had 18,722 ways to defend yourself on all platforms. On YouTube, on Facebook, on IG, on Twitter, on Pornhub, on Black Planet, on MySpace, on Yelp, on Google search. You've had all eyes on you to explain shit, but you keep going left, right, around. It got me going in circles. Ba, 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 is what you keep doing. You're saying how there's misinformation, but not giving any information, right? Not Black Planet. Okay. Y'all know I met him on Black Planet a long time ago. Anyway, so it's weird that y'all know I be bitching random ass things. The reason he's trying to make it seem like the amounts is wrong is because it's an insurance job. Just saying.
$1 million worth of jewelry in all the tabloids. Why would a pastor have that? What about his congregation? And then you posterize if I wear a
posterize. It's posterized. I don't think posterized is a word.
Fendi suit or Gucci suit. Why is Fendi, Louis, and Gucci? Why can't we wear that in the church?
This is why. No one is saying you can't wear Gucci, Fendi, Louis, Prada, or whatever. It's the fact that you purposely wear the prints to show what you're wearing. That's the people's point. You wear clothes to make sure folks know exactly who the designer is, because you want folks to know I spent some money on this. This is a Fendi print jacket. That's $2,000. My wife is in a Burberry jacket. That's $4,000. People with real money. We see celebrities every day who be in fancy shit. We be having no idea the swimsuit that Beyonce's wearing is a Gucci swimsuit, or not. I don't think Gucci swimsuit. But I'm just saying, we see celebrities who are rich folk who do spend their money on expensive things, but you're not having to wear the print to show people who see you what it is. I think that's the point he's missing. He makes sure to buy stuff to show what it is. Sir, stop it.
What's wrong with that?
Cost so much.
What's wrong with that? Because we believe God for hope.
You got the money for it.
We believe God for hope. We believe God for transparency. We believe God to change our lives. My mother was on welfare. I remember, I don't know how old y'all are, but I was born in 1978, where I had to get the pack of food stamps. The purple, the yellow, the brown, the rainbow book. And I had to go and use food stamps. So now I'm able to buy a little finer things for me and my family.
And that's fine. That's fine. No one said you shouldn't do that. It's okay. But that's like a person working at a homeless shelter, going to work in a Gucci, Fendi, Prada jacket suit. And I'm not saying his congregation are homeless. I'm just saying you sometimes, even this when Melania Trump went somewhere in a jacket that was expensive as hell, and it says something foolish on the back, like, girl, you have to think about where you're wearing things. No one's saying you can't buy what you want to buy. but you go on to your congregation who can't afford what you can afford, and it looks a bit foolish. There are plenty Gucci, Louis, Prada, Tom Ford, or whoever else is fancy. I don't know, whoever, that doesn't have to have the print. And you still wearing expensive things, but you're not trying to show off. That goes for anyone within a tax bracket. You can get a Michael Kors purse that don't have the M's all over it because you like Michael Kors. That could be your tax bracket. Your tax bracket may not be Gucci or Coach or whatever. Coach and Michael Kors is the same thing. But I'm just saying, if you can't afford a Gucci or Celine or a Christian Dior bag, but you like Michael Kors, I love Michael Kors. You don't have to get a Michael Kors bag that has all the M's on it. Some folk buy stuff because the print of it shows how much money they spent on it. And that's what you consistently do.
And now you crucify me.
As you should.
Now you crucify me. And everybody say, how in the world can you come to a destitute neighborhood and wear these garments? Well, I don't see this neighborhood as destitute.
It may not be destitute, but you can't buy Gucci, real Gucci. You can't buy real Gucci around there. You can't. You can't. If you are in a certain neighborhood where the people who live there typically can't afford Gucci, Louis, Prada, but you walk around over there in Gucci, Louis, Prada, it is to show off what you have. Even if you want to say, I want to encourage them to, they can get here too. Well, you can still say that by being in a jogging suit, because they know you got money. I'm just saying.
I see this neighborhood as growing. With men leading neighborhoods like this, it will be changed.
Okay.
I wear what I wear to encourage people, not to laugh at people. My community work speaks for itself. I am the biggest pastor in New York City.
Oh, he's the biggest pastor in New York City. Okay, because now let's get off the robbery of it all. Let's get on who I am. I was prom king around here. Okay, let's get into this prom king. Let him tell y'all how great he is and how he's the best thing smoking in New York. Okay.
Of my giveaways. Last year, I shut down on Thanksgiving and I spent $25,000 to feed 30 families.
You spent $25,000 to feed 30 families. That math don't even add up, sir. You spent $25,000 to feed 30 families. It don't cost that much to feed 30 families. You could have spent $5,000 to feed 30 families and then gave each of them the rest of that money to do whatever to pay bills. It don't cost $25,000 to feed 30, unless the families had 15 people in the family each. Them had to be some big ass, them had to be the goddamn Octomom kids, plus Jill and Kate plus 9, okay, plus the Duggars, okay. Unless you were seeing 30 families of Duggar people, how did it cost $25,000 to feed 30 families? Was it the dude who got 33 kids? Was it him and his kids? The shit don't. So again, he be saying stuff that don't sound right in our minds, and we then question it. He then say, "Why y'all question me?" Because you just said you spent $25,000 to feed 30 families. Any church who has $25,000 will probably feed 25,000 people. Because you can spend a good $100 per person to feed them. $25,000 can feed 500 families, not 30. Get out my damn face.
Go buy what you want. The year before that, I did the same thing.
So every year he's spending $25,000 on 30 families. Okay, IRS, FBI, DEA will be looking into you. And probably the damn FDA too. Because what fool do you spend that money on?
Google it. You'll see it. Every Christmas, I give away thousands of toys. Where is that in the media?
You should not be looking for the media to praise you for what you're doing, because you should be doing it out of the kindness of your heart. And if you know you did those things, then that's fine. But right now, what we're seeing is, why is the pastor still upset? What's going on here? You keep telling on yourself, which makes folks question what you're talking about. Real work does not need to be boasted about. It's shown. I'm just saying.
Where is that in the tabloids?
I don't know.
I go to prisons. I have gang walks. Gang members call me and ask me for advice.
Gang members call you and ask for advice. Okay. That's fine. But you're looking for attention that isn't needed. Saying, where's all the work I do? Why ain't that in the media? To me, that means I should be more popular than what I am. I want y'all to showcase me as the bishop with a heart of gold.
I bring gang members to talk to captains and inspectors. I bridge the gap between the streets, the church, and politics.
Okay.
Where is that in the media?
We don't know.
Why do we always gotta tear black men down? I don't see y'all talking about Joel Osteen and his jets.
Shit. The reason we, and I mean the black congregation, the black delegation, don't consistently speak on Joel Osteen is because we don't fuck with him. We don't trust him. We leave Joel to the white people. Ain't nobody around here praising Joel Osteen, but not at all. They get in his ass too. We don't care because that's not our pleasure. We don't follow him. We don't support him. Hell, I don't think we support you either. But my point is, you can't expect people who don't rock with him to go at him too. But people do. People, when Joe do bullshit, they get in that man's ass, but it don't stay around long. And the black news, because we don't care about Joe until he do something dumb, and then we care. Joel Osteen, okay? But may he be blessed by God. Because whatever.
In his houses. I don't see y'all talking about his tailored suits.
I ain't never seen Joe out here in a Gucci Fendi Prada suit. And that's my whole point. Joe be out here in expensive suits that you don't know is expensive because it ain't got no name brand on it. He's smart. He ain't shit too. But our point is that you can for sure be in flashy, expensive stuff that we don't have no idea what it is. That's what's crazy. Y'all don't complain about Joel Osteen suits, because them suits look like them JCPenney. JCPenney, I love your style. Because we don't know, but you round here in Gucci print, Fendi print, Louis Vuitton print. And yes, Joel has a whole arena-sized church. You are at a storefront building that also houses baby showers. Right, Joel don't look like a pimp. Joel ain't flashy. Joel and Bishop T.D. Jakes might come from a suit, may come from Men's Warehouse, but we'll never know. Comparing himself to Joel Osteen doesn't even have the numbers of Joel nor the building capacity. Oh, God. Oh, he's so stupid. But let's keep listening.
But as soon as a black man has a tailored suit, he's a criminal. And y'all build a narrative. Oh, he was in prison, and he must have knew something about a robbery.
No, we said that we just look. If Joel Osteen was robbed, the same way you were, we would for sure say, oh, he knew some shit. He knew someone knew it was a setup. We would say that too, because we don't like Joel Osteen. The reason people have words about you is because of the footage and your commentary, your comments, your lives after it happened. That's why. People felt that way about you before anyone even knew you had a record. People didn't know you had a record until after we said, this robbery don't look, something don't look right. And then after people said that, they then found, oh, he got a record too? Oh, something ain't clean. And the fact that you don't own your church that you stream live from on Sundays, but you keep saying that you own the whole block. You keep and even we discussed earlier about the lady who money stole allegedly. Like it's been stuff already. But again, he called this damn press conference and ain't really. He's saying all the same shit he keeps saying. This making it worse.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Let my church give us some sympathy.
We have some for them.
Empathize with us in this season.
A little bit.
This only happened 5 days ago.
Right.
We're mourning.
Are you?
We're hurting.
Are you?
We had to get on the floor.
Oh.
So why y'all making the pastor get on the floor?
Because you won't shut up. You won't stop addressing it. You call a press conference outside in the New York streets.
Why y'all beating me up like this?
Oh.
Why are you doing what you're doing?
Why you doing what you're doing?
So when we look at tabloids and you guys say, well, the reason why his church got robbed was because of his lifestyle and because of clothes he wear and the jewelry he has. Well, I want to take you back to June 17th in 2015. 9 people were killed during a worship service at Emmanuel African Methodist.
Sir, are you bringing up dead people again? Are you really ever picking up more dead people? Them people like, sir, leave us out of this. We are no longer. Why are you bringing up other people's situations within your situations? Why?
Church in South Carolina. That pastor didn't have chains. That pastor didn't have a nice car. But yet they prayed, P-R-E-Y-E-D. They are praying on our church.
You can't compare people. Those are two completely different situations. It's different. The people who came and robbed your church, from what we can see, had no mindset to hurt anyone, because if they did, they would have came in shooting, and they would not have came in, stole what they stole, and instantly left. They didn't pistol whip nobody. When you would not answer their questions about your jewelry, they did not hit you with it. They didn't do anything violent. The most thing they did was rob y'all. To bring up a situation where people went into a church and killed people. The people who did that went in there to murder. That's a different scenario, situation, and all that, based on someone who, in your own words, said they came in for me and my wife's church. That was their plan. You cannot compare the two. The reason we prayed for people in these situations where folks come in and start killing people is because that is horrible. People lost their lives. That's completely different than you losing some fucking jewelry. And this is why people have issue with what happened to you, because you keep attaching other stuff to your situation. You cannot compare a murder scene to a plotted and planned robbery. Whether you help them 3 people plan a robbery don't matter. They did not come in there to kill any damn body. Preacher, Get off your high horse and shut up.
What about in 2017, another black church in Texas, 26 church members died and 20 wounded?
Because someone went in there to hurt, murder, and or maim. No one went in there with the intention to rob the flashy bishop and his flashy wife. And that don't make it right. Because, sir, wrong fucking road.
Because they walked in our church and did what they wanted to do. This is the first time this ever happened in New York City. The first time ever. So therefore, if we don't protect our houses of worship, they're going to be copycat crimes.
Really? Really?
Just like this. And I want to call on the governor. I want to call on the mayor. I want to call on the Congress, the council, and the assembly. They need to pass a law expeditiously that pastors of houses of worship and anyone under the ecclesiastical staff need to be able to have permits for firearms. If the teachers can have it, we should be able to have it. No matter if we have a record, it should be exempt.
Sir, so you saying criminals who have a record, who can't have guns, should be allowed to have guns if they become pastors? You're saying that even though the law is that people convicted of felonies cannot carry firearms, that y'all should be exempt. That's what you want to say. So you calling upon the governor, the mayor, the commissioners, the city workers, the people at the Popeyes chicken, the people at the garbage disposal place, the people at the microwave fix it. You want everybody to be around here saying that anyone within the Church of God, under the clergyman of it all, should be able to have guns. No, what should happen is every church should be required to have security. And you hire people that you can afford to secure it. If you can only afford one person who is licensed to carry to be the one in the church who, has a gun, fine. But you really up here saying that people should pass laws that even felons who can't own firearms because they have become a pastor should be able to carry guns? You don't get out my damn face.
Because we've changed our life.
Not all of y'all. Not all felons are bad, but not all felons change their life. Some felons go to jail just to serve their time and get out and do dumb shit and go right back.
And you said, well, why do you have to carry pistols? And why can't you have security?
Right.
Well, some churches are too small to afford armed security.
Sir, your church is small, but you can afford it. You have a small church. We know that for a fact. It's a storefront. But if you can afford to offer $50,000 to catch who robbed you, you can afford to pay somebody, $20,000 a year to once on every Sunday be around here, with the guns or whatever. That can happen, but you full of shit.
So we should be able to bear arms like the Constitution said. So I want to close out with, we are our brother's keeper. And I'm asking the media today, I called this emergency press conference because the leading story around the world is Bishop Whitehead. You Google Bishop Whitehead, everybody's trending off of Bishop Whitehead. But Bishop Whitehead goes home and cries because I'm the victim. My church is the victim. But the media is portraying me to be a villain. And it's not fair. Let us mourn a little bit. Let us thank God a little bit that there was no fatality.
You was the one who didn't get time to do none of that. You.
At all. So I'm going to open the floor.
2 questions, please.
Bishop, what do you have to say? Can you, based on what the woman in the lawsuit accused you of stealing $90,000 life savings, did you do that, and what is your response?
Well, today, as one of the CBS reporters so kindly brought to our attention, and my attorney also brought to my attention, we gained a victory today.
So the person asked him, what do you have to say about the story that came out about you taking $90,000 from that lady? What do you have to say about that? And all he said was, we have a victory. We have a victory. What victory? What do you mean?
We gained a victory today. Y'all do your own research. But
we had a victory today. Do your own research. Sir, you called a press conference because you was accused of being a scammer. Now you don't want to answer questions at the press conference about the questions that we all had. What?
I can't get into the legality of this fictitious claim against me.
Why would you not have your lawyer present if you can't answer legal questions? You had a press conference, but you do not want, because everything around you is legal shit. Why would you not have your lawyer there or someone who can speak? Even if your lawyer say that case was handled in the court, this is how we won. You sound dumb.
So we gained a victory today.
How?
So everybody that's been posting about Bishop, I want y'all to understand that y'all are seeing a true man of God. Y'all can paint me the way y'all want to paint me.
What?
But we gained a victory today, and I'm gonna leave it right there.
You leave what? Where? We don't see anything. For your response to be, we had a victory today. How? Where? When? Why?
And also, have you spoken with the mayor since yesterday?
Yes.
What did you talk about?
2 questions.
He just encouraged me to keep my head strong.
So actually, the numbers, the 400,000 and the 1 million, they come straight from the NYPD. That's how we're reporting it. And I actually asked the NYPD how they got those numbers, and they said the victim of the crime reports the numbers. So I was wondering, first, how did the $400,000 number come up, and then how did it go up to $1 million?
So she was asking, no, we can because the bus was riding past. Okay, she's asking, the poster behind. Again, the poster behind him looks crazy. Hence me saying, you scheduled a press conference, but look at your background. Where's your backdrops? You full of shit, okay? But she was asking him, you said about how the money of the cost of the jury was crazy. It went from $400K to $1 million. She's asking him, okay, so can you clarify that? Because we got those amounts from the NYPD, okay? Yeah. And this was his response.
It's NYPD for that.
I tried to ask you.
No, I'm telling you to ask them.
That's the question we're not going to ask at this time.
Yeah. So next, who's another question?
So his response was, ask the NYPD. And she's like, but I'm asking you because this is your press conference. You told all the media to come down here. You told the media to come down here to ask you stuff, and now you're not even answering the questions. For me to say, you said the numbers was wrong. Okay, so what's the right numbers? What's the right even estimate? His response was, go ask the police.
Is there a more accurate number that we can report?
My legal team told me do not get into the value of any property.
Because the insurance team wants to be sure that I get the most money. So if I don't publicly say how much I paid for anything, I can get more money for the jury I have somebody steal later on.
So you guys do your research. You guys do what you have to do, but those numbers are inaccurate.
Were the items insured?
That's a legal question.
So you can't even say if the stuff was insured. That's a legal question. Then, sir, why have a press conference thinking people? What else was they gonna ask you, honey? Not Ariane going live while I'm on here. Oh, she at a party, which means she probably won't be talking much. But let me go with court and let me hope. I'm push like.
Anybody else with questions? Go ahead, man.
The Department of Interfaith.
I can't hear you, ma'am.
Have you spoken to the Department of Interfaith in regards to the situation of the housing?
Well, we have really been taking our time because this has been a traumatic experience. So I've been having my church in therapy this week. So my main focus right now is to make sure that my church is okay. And all of those meetings will come. All of those meetings will proceed. I'm hoping that the governor will reach out to me so we can have a sit down. Since I am the first pastor to ever be robbed in history in New York City, so I'm waiting for the governor to reach out to me. I'm also just waiting for all elected officials that can pass laws to sit down with me, and I'm definitely going to address that.
So, before you helped turn the young man in after the shooting on the subway, I remember when last year you ran, of course, for Brooklyn Borough President. Yes. And during that campaign, you accepted a loan, $150,000 from a woman down in Miami, and just said for Bayoro. Just wondering how you know her and why you did not repay her.
Thank you so
much.
At
loan.
this present time, Bishop will no longer be answering any more questions. We appreciate
You said 2 questions a person.
Have a good day.
I didn't even.
Not your assistant coming up in a Fendi shirt and her Fendi to say no more questions, no more questions. We cannot have any more questions because he's already dug himself deep in a hole, and we cannot have any more deep holes being drugged for him. So please, we're going to leave now. Please and thank you. Yeah.
Get to finish the first one. Yeah.
I'm gonna. You're trying to listen. That's more of a legal question, and what you just stated is inaccurate. I'm gonna leave it there.
Why though?
Is
there? Yeah.
All you have to do is send an email, and then we'll email you back.
What email though?
Press conference at lotim.org. lotim.org.
All inquiries, all press releases will be sent out to the media with all information on Bishop Whitehead, and any questions that you may have can be filtered through.
How do you restore the faith in the community?
That's a good question.
How do you have a press conference and you tell everyone to come down to the press conference? And then when it asks you questions, you then say, hey, nope, I can't answer that. I can't. You could have did this at your house in that damn chair in that room on your own. Because you ain't said nothing different much. You've added more lies onto that, but you have not said anything more that you need to have a press conference. I was like, what for what?
Yeah.
That's a good question. How do we restore the faith in the community? By coming together. Right? By not separating. The Bible says a divided house can't stand. Right? The Bible also says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. What I represent for the community, I look like you, brother. I got the same Brooklyn hat. I wear it. Look on my page, right? Because I want to inspire you. I want you to be able to understand that the same God that loves me, he loves you. And I want us to all come together. That's how we restore the community, right? When we come together as one, right? Not hating one another. Not separating from one another, right? And standing 10 toes down. The reason why they are able to attack me and the way they attack me is because we are a divided people. We are a divided house. And you know one thing I want to say about that, if they had cameras when my father was beat and strangled to death by 16 police officers, then we would have had a witness. But back in 1978, the black man and the black woman's testimony or witness statement didn't mean anything. And that's why all of them got off. My father's dead. I'm still here fighting for my life.
Appreciate it.
Bishop, I'm sorry, but what would you say to people who wonder how a pastor has the kind of money it appears that you might have in the possession? What would you say to people
What would I say? The Bible
Yeah.
says in the book of Genesis that there are 4 streams of the rivers. So I always teach my church, and I always teach people to have more than one stream of income. It's not about getting in my business. It's about having more streams of income. I'm not on a salary with my church. It's about having multiple streams of income. That's it. Everybody wants to box me in to make it seem like I am on salary with my church. I am not. To answer your question. You have another question.
Pastor, I'm just wondering about the police presence here. Have you been getting any police protection since the robbery?
Yes. The NYPD is amazing. The 69th precinct, the captain calls me all the time. The chief of patrol, the commissioner of community affairs came here. The NYPD has been impeccable. I'm talking about they call me every single day to ask me am I okay. The chief of patrol, Chief Madry, when this happened, he was over here in 10 minutes. I can't speak highly enough for the NYPD. And with me speaking this way about them, y'all better believe it.
They call you daily. So of all the crime going on in New York City, you have all the police calling you every day to make sure you okay. You didn't die. No one there was harmed. No one was harmed. And they out there protecting you from what? Other people get hurt, murdered, maimed, and all these things, but they calling you, checking in on you daily. Oh, that speaks like bribery.
Because I was upset when I was young that they took my father's life, but I was able to forgive, right? And now I have a relationship with NYPD. And they
You have a relationship. Okay.
They call me every single day. Someone calls me from the NYPD to make sure if I need anything, to make sure what I need. And every Sunday, the security system has changed. The NYPD will be outside. So for all my members that are looking, all the people that want to come to church, come on to church, because the NYPD will be here for our safety.
Not the police is here to save us. Okay.
I know you can't address the case with Pauline Anderson, but her son Rashid used to be involved in your church. Do you think his mother was calling out?
We can't hear you.
No, I'm not even going to answer that question anyway, so no matter. Yeah, I'm not going to answer it because that don't even matter. We're here to address things about protecting the church. And if you guys want to clear anything up, if I can answer it, I'm going to answer it. I don't run from anything. Okay?
I don't run from nothing, but I'm not going to answer the question y'all asking me. I'm running from those.
Just regarding, okay, great, NYPD will be here, giving that assurance to your parishioners to come back to church now. But is there a greater plan going on in your mind? I mean, you're calling on the governor and the mayor to make kind of just across the board to maybe help protect pastors more. But in general, you even mentioned we can't really afford as a small church to hire our own security, team. But are you thinking about that, kind of contrasting that with what people are accusing your lifestyle of being maybe lavish, but are you thinking about maybe a plan of a different kind of security team and investing in that for future?
Yes, we have a whole strategy. We have a whole strategy. We're putting together a whole strategy, a whole plan. And I'm not only calling on the governor, I'm calling on President Biden.
Biden? Don't you pull it. Look, Biden has enough on his plate, honey. We trying to get our own. Look, no. Don't you be including the president in your shit. Nope. No. Let him focus on other stuff that is more important, not your church.
Because, anytime that there is an election time, they all come to the house of worship, right? So they get our vote. Protect us. So why don't we do it this way? Protect the vote, right? So I'm calling on the White House. I'm calling on every elected official that has power to protect houses of worship. We need protection. We need you to sympathize with us, so therefore we can protect. We don't get the luxury of having firearms, right? Y'all think, see, everybody doesn't make money in church. There's so many churches that's struggling. Amen. Struggling. We are struggling. But we love Jesus Christ so much that we still crawl to church. Churches are bankrupted and we can't find help. So now all we're asking, help us protect ourselves. Pass a law where we can carry our firearms, because this gun violence has went to a new level.
If you had any words for the robbers, what words would you give them?
If I have any words for the robbers, what would I give them? First of all, I forgive them. The Bible teaches me to forgive. Matthew 6, verse 14, 15 says, if ye forgive your trespasses, then I will forgive you.
God said nope. God said, I'm going to send this truck right about now. No.
Then I will forgive you your trespasses. But if you do not forgive your trespasses, then I won't forgive you. So I would say, I forgive you. There's no harm, no hurt, no foul. But the second thing I would say is turn yourself in. What you did was in violation of every code of ethics. Ain't nobody from heaven to the streets that's going to respect you from running into a church of worship.
Facts.
Ain't nobody that have any tough blood in their body gonna respect you from running into the church. Nobody.
No one respects anybody for scamming churches either, but I'm going to leave that be.
So turn yourself in. Find your local station, police station, and turn yourself in. And if whoever was behind it, because you know the tabloids think I'm behind it, whoever was behind it, snitch, tell on them, right? Since y'all think I'm behind it, tell on them. When you turn yourself in, tell on them.
Sir, you have been telling on yourself this whole time.
Snitch on them. Because what you did was wrong. That's what I would tell you. Anybody else?
Will you continue to help people in your church going forward with investments or any other type of advice or guidance financially?
So I separate myself from my church, right? So it's not like I help my church do any investments, right? I've never done that, okay? But what I do is I teach free classes. That's what I do. I teach free classes that will cost you $5,000. I teach free classes of real estate and how to invest and what to invest. So please don't be bamboozled of how people turn things around. But it's not something that I get into the pulpit and try to teach my church. This is a separate thing. I don't force my church into what they don't want to be in. I teach you the instruments and the ways of whatever I know. And it's up to you to decide. So I'm going to take two more questions. And
y'all think people get off the bus and they stand around looking like, is that the pastor? Is that Pastor Robbery? Girl, he doing a press conference outside the baby shower hall.
How did you feel? What was going through your mind when you was on the ground and that gun was in your back? I want to know.
You can't tell me she not a random person who walked up and they said, oh, we need you to ask this question. Ma'am, ask him how he felt. How does it feel? What's the procedure when there's a gun to your head? I feel like she's like, you know what, Vivica, I'm going to ask the question. How does it feel? What is the procedure when there's a fucking gun to your head? It's Vivica. That's Vivica.
Everything that was going through your mind.
Well, what was going through my mind? I was helpless.
Were you praying? What was going on?
I got it.
In that moment?
Yes. I was helpless.
When he said, I got it, meaning I don't need you to coax me into what I'm supposed to say. I remember my own lines.
But prayer got me through. Right? I was looking at my daughter with a gun. I don't know what type of gun, but it was black. In her face. 8 months old. And daddy could not save her because if I moved, a lot of lives could have been gone. I saw my church, all of my deaconess board, because they was in white for communion, all on the floor, on top of each other. A pastor with his head down, looking, a shepherd, looking, hurting,
let me get emotional, Jesus. I need to bring tear to my eye. I need them to know I'm emotional. I need them to know I am emotional. Now, I know I said that I was very sad, but let me cry.
Feeling helpless.
Stay strong.
Can't do nothing.
Stay strong.
For people that trust me to lead them, and then y'all try to beat me up. What about my church? If y'all don't like me, don't follow me. But what about my church? What about the women that's crying, that's calling me? What about my church? It's not about me.
It's not about me.
Why are y'all doing this to my church? Why are you doing this to every house of worship? Talk about being sympathetic and empathetic to my church. No further questions. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for coming out. And y'all can send an email to press conference at lotim.org. May God bless you. And we will be having more updates. The investigation is still moving forward. And I can't wait for these 3 young men to be justice to prevail. God bless you. And y'all stay safe.
Brother, stay strong.
Thank you.
I can't wait for these 3 black men to be put in prison. As much as I've said, and I'm so hurt that I was also black men in prison. I can't wait for 3 black men to be put in prison. Now, don't get me wrong. The 3 black men should go to jail if they ride for. You can't be robbing folks. You know what I'm saying? Can't be doing that. However, you know, I just feel like, you know, he gonna keep digging himself deep into a hole. But again, the watching, I keep saying I'm not gonna be on live for no 2-3 hours. And what ended up happening? We on live for 3 hours while my phone is in the other room recording Coleslaw, who's on her IG live. So y'all know we'll be coming together to have some kind of conversation about what she's saying eventually. Y'all know tomorrow sometime, I don't know what time, y'all, I have to do Life After Lockup. I got to do Bail Collective. And I have to do Ready to Love. But tonight we had a good old long-ass gossip chat. I am tired. It is midnight here. I want to thank everybody for coming around here and watching and having a good time. Okay, for Chit and chatting. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Come on, JayBird. Do not forget to subscribe. Oh, no. Follow me on IG at JayLeesCorner. Like the video. Share the video. Become a whole JayBird. I'm going to go chill out. Get my mind. I have not had a rest in forever, y'all. Okay, I'm going to get myself together and let it be. But again, sometime tomorrow we'll have other lives. Y'all know as long as you have subscribed to my channel, you will see the live posted beforehand. So make sure that you have subscribed, because the foolishness that's going to come with these conversations will also be entertaining, okay? But I thank you all. I love you all. A good time was always had. Okay, it's always fun. I'm going to stop talking so much, y'all. I'm going to stop talking so much and let stuff be. Okay, anyway, go to bed, get some water or whatever. But I'm going to go. I love you all. Peace.